Let's do this thing, folks. It's time to crown a national champion. It is the conclusion of the college basketball season, and it is going to be a doozy. Number 1 seed out of the West region, the Florida Gators, the SEC champions, taking on the number 1 seed from the Midwest, the Big 12 champions, the Houston Cougars. Both teams had a wild road to the Final Four. Both of them overcame second-half deficits to win their national semifinal game and make it to the national championship bout, and now we will see which team gets it done. Florida has not won a national championship since their back-to-back titles in 06-07. Houston has never done it. How about that? Kelvin Sampson looking to get the Cougars a national championship tonight. Florida, Houston, LJ Cryer, Walton Clayton Jr. A lot of fun storylines on deck. I'm Nic Rohloff. Welcome in to Chat Sports. It's going to be a fun one. We got about 17 and change until we get tipped off. As always, shout out your city for me down in the comment section. Where are the people watching from? Who is fired up for the game? We know Ty Man, the Buckeye, is fired up for this one. It is Natty Night. I mean, the storylines galore. Kelvin Sampson, can he finally lead Houston to a championship? So many deep runs over the last 5 or 6 seasons. Todd Golden really making his first deep run with the Florida Gators. Walter Clayton, the MAC transfer, played for Rick Pitino at Iona, now leading the Gators to a national championship game, trying to do something that so many good Gators couldn't do, which is win a championship. We saw the Al Horford, Joakim Noah, the Corey Brewers of the world, they got championships. But we didn't see Bradley Beal get a title. We didn't see Chioza get a title. Can Walter Clayton get it done for Florida? It is going to be a lot of fun today, folks, and we cannot wait here at Chat Sports. Time and the Buckeye is rocking with Ohio. GR Crushing Stuff is rocking with the Gators from Fort Myers. Double S is watching from Miami, Florida. Ronald is saying smash the like button. I couldn't agree more. But continue to get in the comment section and let us know where we're watching from. I think there's some other added storylines. Emmanuel Sharp has been there for a while for Houston. Is he going to be able to get it done? I mean, how about that Houston comeback, though, on Saturday night against Duke? Down 14 with about 10 minutes to go. Down 6 with 30 seconds to go. Down 1 with 17. The choke from the Duke Blue Devils was absolutely unreal, but Houston was able to take advantage of it. And on the flip side, Florida down 8 at the half to Auburn. Didn't look good at all in that first half. Didn't get off to a good start in the second half either, but then Auburn just came crashing down, and Florida was able to take advantage of it. Austin saying, go Cats, but I got Florida. I don't know what Cats you're talking about. There's a lot of Cats out there. Could be Kentucky, could be Arizona. There's a lot of Wildcats out there. Davidson, who knows? Maybe you're a Davidson Wildcat. I don't know. But either way, it's going to be a lot of fun on today's show. But if you want to have more fun in person, we got to tell you about our sponsor on today's live show. That is Game Time. Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Chat Sports. I use Game Time every time I go to a live event, whether it is a sport event, whether it's comedy show, concert, it doesn't matter. We use it all the time. And with so many events happening in the sports world, Game Time's the perfect app to get your tickets, whether it's MLB, whether it's the NBA, whether it's the NHL, whether it's other events. Game Time is the spot for you. They have the last-minute deals. Save up to 60% off buying last-minute tickets for sports, concerts, comedy, theaters. They also have a feature called Game Time Picks, which makes ticket buying easier than ever, quickly highlights the best deals in the stadium. One of my personal favorites is all-in pricing. Toggle this feature. It shows you the total price of your ticket up front with no surprise fees at checkout. They also show you a full panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy, so you know that you're not going to be sitting behind a board or a stanchion or anything like that at your event. Go to a concert this summer, Chris Brown, Kendrick Lamar in your local area. Go see your local baseball team. It does not matter. Either way, Game Time is the best way to buy your tickets. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. I appreciate everyone tuning in here as we are still about 13 and a half minutes away from being tipped off between Florida and Houston. And we got our first super chat of the day, which is going to allow us to get that on screen and tell you about our super chat menu on today's show. Coming in from Austin, a $5 super chat. Appreciate you, my friend. Saying, I need the Gators to win. My parlay depends on it. Which parlay could you need? My question, Justin. The game hasn't even started yet, and that's needed in your parlay? What else do you got, Austin? Let me know in the comments section. Who knows? Who knows? But we'll bring Justin on, our producer, today in a second because he's rocking with a team. I'm rocking with another team. There'll be a little friendly competition on today's show. But our super chat menu today. We got 2 items here, but we do want to focus another thing. So every 100 subs today, I'm taking a shot. Justin, where are we at right now?
We are at, well, actually, 5. 5 for Florida.
Yeah, but in terms of subscribers.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're at 405,031.
So we're starting at 031. So as we get to 131, shot. 231, shot. 331, shot. Hopefully, we get to 406,000 subscribers today here at Chat Sports. We appreciate everyone who has already subscribed. And if you haven't already, hit that sub button for daily sports content and everything you need to know in NBA, NFL, college football. That's either way. Remember there. But you saw on the menu, $5, pick a side, and then $50 doing beer bongs. So my guy Austin, clearly rocking with the Gators. I'm trying to find out tonight, folks, as an unbiased viewer of the game. I went to St. Bonaventure University. That is not the Houston Cougars. That's not the Florida Gators. I want to see which fan base and program has the better fans. And right now, Florida is showing us that they have the lead. We want to see which team is going to have more super chats in their favor today. Right now, we got Austin leading the way with that $5 super chat, rocking with Florida. So it's 5-0 Florida. The Gators, hey, I was told that whoever wins the battle between the fan bases is going to win the game on the court as well.
Hey, I saw the energy coming from the Florida fans when we did the Final Four stream for the first game. And they were all up in the chat. So that's why I'm rolling with Florida.
So, yeah, that's another added thing here. We got battle in the chat, battle on the court, battle on Chat Sports. Rolly's rocking with Houston. I'm a Cougar. I am. I'm sorry. I want to see Houston get it done. I'd love to see Kelvin Sampson finally cut down the nets. I'd finally love to see Houston cut down the nets. LJ Cryer getting his second championship. Was a champion with the 2021 Baylor Bears. Looking to do it now for the Cougars this year. Emmanuel Sharp. Listen, I think Florida would be a cool story. Todd Golden, Walter Clayton Jr., but they've won 2 titles since the year 2000. Let Houston get in on the fun. So I'm rooting for Houston today. Justin's rocking with Florida, so we'll see who ultimately wins. Justin, Rowley, Houston, Florida. We'll see. It's going to be a lot of fun.
As a Dallas native, I've been told Houston fans ain't got it like that. I'm just saying. That's all I know my entire life.
I know. Listen, I'm moving down here. I know you've lived down here for most of your time, so you know that a guy like you're rocking against Houston. I'm H-Town, hold it down, as they say.
Oh, well.
Is that what they go? H-Town? Deuces? I've seen Chugs do this, no?
That's like the Cougar one. The Houston Cougar.
This is the Houston Cougar one, and then this one's H-Town, hold on. It is what it is. Whatever. All right, with under 10 minutes to go until tip-off, who you got? Type F for Florida, H for Houston. Let it get known down in the comment section. Who you got winning today? It's also our live poll on today's show. And right now, 60% of the votes got Florida. So vote down in the comments section. Vote in the live poll. We're giving shout-outs for everyone voting. JT's rocking with the Gators. Ty Man the Gators. Double S, Florida. Kyle Wright, Florida. Kane Angel's rocking with the Gators. Austin's rocking with the Gators. Mizzou Express is going with Houston. First person to go with Houston. So me and Mizzou Express walking with the Cougars tonight together. Everybody else in the chat right now going with Florida. Shelly's even rocking with Florida. Unbelievable, I tell you. Too many Gators for my liking. Listen, I know a lot of my Heat fans are hanging out with me today. But I'm surprised how many people root for Florida knowing that our Miami Hurricanes. That's my thing as well. We got a couple Houstons. Let's go. We got Cruz saying, boy, better throw that H up, never keep it down. Well, I wouldn't put it down. That's the horns down. Hey, what did I say?
You did.
H-Town, hold it down.
Yeah, H-Town, hold it down.
I see Chugs do that. See, I also feel weird putting up the deuces because to me, that's the Texas Longhorns.
Well, that's why it's like to the side.
To the side.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the Texas Longhorns. That's this is Houston. Whatever. It is what it is. Nuppy's rocking with Houston. Quentin going with Florida. Maya's World saying Florida. Kane Angel's going with the Hurricanes. Or saying, I'm a Hurricanes fan, but you're rooting for Florida. I could never want to see my in-state other school win. I'm sorry. That's why I'm rocking with Houston. Give me the Cougs. Give me the Cougs. Nick Williams rocking with Houston. Let's freaking go. National anthem going on right now as we are so close to getting tipped off. We have 220 people watching here in the pregame portion, Justin. I tell you what, we need to get to 100 likes. 220 people watching, only 26 likes. Can we get to a triple digits before we tip off? Come on. Are you excited for the game? Are you ready for this big-time national championship matchup to get underway between Houston and Florida? If you are, hit that thumbs up icon. You know what? I said every 100 subs, I'm taking a shot. If we get to 100 likes before we tip off, I'm taking a shot. We got 34. We got 7 minutes. Can we get 65 likes in 7 minutes? I think that should be done. We're here live for free on the channel. Let's get to that 100 like mark before we tip off. Come on. Come on. Seems pretty easy to do here. Ryan says the Gatorettes coming. What is that? Is that the cheerleaders? Could be. Might be. Might be. Jakias is asking who's y'all going for. I'm going with Houston. Our producer Justin today is rocking with the Gators. Do that what you will. Do with that what you want, what you will. Riley Shea's rocking with Florida. Noah's saying knew it was going to be Rolly. Listen, they got to put the #1 college basketball guy at Chat Sports on the live stream for the national title game. Shout out Smitty. Me and him both big college basketball guys. You saw him one day of the round of 64 March Madness. You saw me the other day. I was here for the Final Four and the national championship game. I'm excited. I mean, the matchups are just tremendous here, Justin. Think about it. LJ Cryer, Walter Clayton, Manuel Sharp, Will Richard, Elijah Martin, Milas Uzan. It's just awesome. The guard play is going to be great. Jawan Roberts against Alex Condon inside. Tugler inside as well. It's just awesome. It's going to be a great game. I know a lot of people were bummed Duke wasn't in the national championship game. I know a lot of people were bummed Auburn was. I had an Auburn-Duke championship game, so I went over. I thought Auburn was going to win. Actually, that's not true. I did think Florida was going to beat Auburn, but I picked in my bracket Auburn-Duke in the national title game. Didn't get that. We got Florida-Houston.
I will say this. I think we're going to see a clinic on the glass. We saw what Houston did to Duke.
Yeah.
Boy, did they wear them down.
Well, that's why I think Houston wins. I think they've got the advantage on the interior. I'll take Tugler. I'll take Roberts over the big men for the Gators. And I know Walter Clayton's probably the best player in this game overall, But if you're asking me, like, to me, I know Florida's good, Justin. But I think Houston has the better front court, and I think they have the better overall backcourt. I'll take Sharp, Uzan, Cryer over Martin, Clayton, and Richard. Am I crazy for saying that? I don't know if I am.
Hey, I don't disagree, but I'm counting on the best player in the game to come through.
Yeah. Like, listen, it's an understanding line of thinking. I understand it.
I will say this though. Did you see the videos of them how Houston practices?
Oh, that's why I love it. Gritty basketball. I used to hate Houston basketball. Fun fact. I'm kind of in on them now. Announcing the starting lineups for each squad here. Alex Condon starting at center for Florida. And then you have the other big men. Like, that's a fun battle. Ruben Chinalu versus Tugler inside. Condon versus Roberts. Sharp versus Richard. Clayton versus Cryer. Uzan versus Martin. Like, it's just awesome. It is absolutely terrific. I cannot wait. Come on, folks. We still need to get to 100 likes before we tip off. Bosses say we might end the stream if we don't get to 100 likes before we tip off. We have 60. We need 40 likes. Come on. Hit that thumbs up icon. Let's get the triple digits. We were live for free for the Final Four games on Saturday. We're live for free here for the National Championship game on Monday night. If you want us to do more streams like this in the future, you got to show our bosses that you guys like it. So let's get to 100 likes before we tip off. Come on, folks. Come on. We're at 73. We're climbing. 27 away. We got 2.5 minutes to get there. Florida Gators starting lineup announced. Now it's time for Houston to be announced here. Led, obviously, by the Baylor transfer, LJ Cryer, second year in the program, worked alongside Jamal Shed last season, where they lost in the Sweet 16 to Duke, avenged that loss in the Final Four this season. Jawan Roberts returned. Miles Uzan a bigger role. Emmanuel Sharp starting in that backcourt once again like he did last year. It's going to be it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. We're 15 likes away. Come on. Hit that thumbs up icon. We got to get the triple digits. We get to 100 likes, I'll stop bothering you about the likes for a while. Come on. Raymond's rocking with Florida. Joseph Tugler getting announced on the court. We're 9 likes away. Also, I want to get a status check in the chat. If you're excited for the game, type me. If you're excited for the game, you're fired up, spam those me's. We got a minute and a half until we're supposedly getting tipped off. I suppose we'll be a little bit later here. But if you're ready for the game, type me. We got Larry, Kane, Noah, Tyman, Ronald. If you're fired up, type those me's. If you're fired up, type me. I want to see who's fired up. I am fired up, Andrew. You know what? I'm going to type my me's. I'm typing my me's. I'm fired up. Who's with me? Gaming is fired up. Brody's fired up. Adriel's fired up. Riley Shea's ready to go. We got over 100 likes. Appreciate you. We got there before tip-off, so I'm taking a shot. By the way, Samson rocking with a Houston polo. Golden rocking with a Gators Q-zip. I like the polo look better than the Q-zip. Shout out to everyone who's hit that thumbs up icon. We also got a $10 super chat from my guy, Thomas Fudge. Thomas, we're playing a game today, my friend, where we're pitting the two fan bases against each other. Houston, Florida. I want to see which fan base is bigger, who's got more supporters. This is our super chat menu today. Every $100, we'll take a shot like we just did for 100 likes. $5 or more, you pick your side. We'll add your total to the battle between Houston and Florida. And if you send in a $50 super chat, we'll take down a beer bong. Got my Happy Dad, got my Merbanga. So, Thomas, let me know in the chat, are you rocking with Florida or are you rocking with Houston? Who are you rocking with, Thomas? Because I got to add 10 to one of these two. Who's got the better fan base? I got to add 10 to this. We're seeing who's going to come through and have the most today. As competition is always very fun. Thomas is going with Florida. So add another 10 to the Gators. Add another 10 to the Gators. So 15-0 lead for the Gators over Houston. I also do want to make note, Houston is the quote-unquote home team today. Florida is the away team. Why, you ask? It goes by overall seeding. Houston was the 3rd overall seed. Florida was the 4th overall seed, which is why Houston is the home team in this game. All right, so Florida's leading 15-0 in our college fan base battle on the Super Chat. Remember, Super Chat with who you're rocking with, and we'll add that total. I want to see who wins between Houston or Florida. We're almost about to get underway in San Antonio for the 2025 NCAA Tournament Championship game. Houston rocking their white unis. Florida rocking their blue unis. We're ready to go. Ron Groover, Doug Sermons, and Terry Oglesby are your 3 officials for this game. We're about ready, folks, to get tipped off in San Antonio. Tugler in the center circle. Chingaloo for the Gators. Who is going to win this jump ball? Does the tip determine the game? We'll see, because the Houston Cougars win the tip, and they will start with the basketball. Miles Uzan's got it for Houston. He working on the right side. They're trying to get it to Roberts. They do. He faces up on the baseline, backing down on Condon. Gets to his right hand, hook shot, rattles in and out. Ball tipped out of bounds by Tugler, and the Gators get a stop on their first possession and will get ball now. And now you'll see Florida's first possession. You would have to expect that if Condon is going to defend Roberts inside, Justin, you will see Houston target that. Veteran big man for the Cougars and Roberts, true freshman, and Condon. That's why I think Houston wins this game. They've got the advantage on the interior. Clayton will bring it up for the Gators. Defeated the Auburn Tigers 79-73 in the Final Four on a comeback after trailing by 8 at halftime. Clayton from the logo early. No good, and that ball will rattle out of bounds. That seemed a little forced. Clayton got hot early against Auburn in the first half, but a logo 3 with about 15 seconds in the shot clock doesn't feel like the best shot there for the Gators. Uzan will bring it up now for the Cougars. They furiously came back to defeat Duke in the Final Four, 70-67. Currently on an 18-game win streak. Tugler inside, stop, pop, right hook, good! And the Cougars get on the board first with a nice little bucket inside, 2-0. That matchup inside, Tugler versus Chanaloo, is going to be an interesting one. Condon's got it at the top of the key, he hands it off to Richard, back to Condon. Condon goes at Tugler, double teamed. He's caught on the baseline, kicks out to Elijah Martin. His three-point attempt, too strong. Rebound Uzan, and the Cougars' defense, which is oh so suffocating with a couple good defensive possessions early. Uzan, the transfer guard, now at the top of the key, directing traffic for Houston. Gets a screen from Tugler, works at the top of the key, gets the switch from Condon, picks up his dribble, and now resets to Sharp. Right wing 3. No, but offensive rebound by Tugler. Kicks out to Cryer. Deep 3 there. No, tipped out again. And the Cougars have a third opportunity. Sharp gets inside, hangs, can't finish. And now Florida has a 5-on-4. Clayton the other way, inside the Condon, and he throws it down. Gators, second best team in Division I this season with fast break points averaging around 18 a game. They were able to get a stop inside, get out in transition, and tie the game up at 2. Uzan pick and roll with Roberts, almost turns it over, but regathers it in the backcourt after Condon tipped it away. 10 on the shot clock. Uzan driving left. Oh, nice hesitation move, and gets the high arc floater to go off glass. Little kiss off the glass from Bill Raftery. Gators quickly the other way. Condon fouled by Roberts. So even off of a made basket, the Gators pushing the pace, able to get a good look inside, and Condon is going to go to the free throw line for 2. First foul on Juwan Roberts. $17:30 to go here in this first half. Condon from Australia, 6'11", getting some NBA late first round buzz. Makes the first free throw. He's got all 3 points for Florida. He only had 1 point in the game against Auburn on Saturday. I took his less than on Prize Picks. 8 points. Not a good start for me. He averages 6.2 points per game in this NCAA tournament. Just really hasn't gotten going. Not that Florida's needed him with the heroics of that backcourt, Clayton, Richard, Martin. He makes both free throws, and we're knotted up at 4. Condon actually fouled out in that national semifinal game against Auburn. Uzain, who runs the point for Houston so often, swings it over to Cryer on the right side. Cryer pick and roll with Roberts. Cryer show and go. Roberts, little hook shot inside. No. Offensive rebound, loose. Can't be picked up by Houston, and now here come the Gators. Clayton leading in transition. Finds the trailing Richard. Now dumped inside, but a foul will be called on Tugler, fighting for position with Chinaloo. So that's now the second foul on Houston, 1 on each of the 2 big men, Tugler and Roberts. Over 700 people watching. Make sure you have hit that thumbs up icon. Only 132 likes. The Gators inbound. Martin pump fakes, drives inside, goes for the dunk, is stuffed by the rim, gets his own rebound, puts it back up, pinned off glass, and then it goes out of bounds off of Florida. What a sequence there. Martin went for the highlight on Tugler, couldn't finish, got his own rebound, blocked from behind by Roberts, and then goes off of Florida out of bounds. What a defensive possession by Houston. Cryer, pick and roll, drops it off for Tugler, and he banks it home. So the big man who didn't have a presence offensively on Saturday against Duke has 4 out of the 6 points for Houston here early. A 7'6" wingspan for Tugler. Chinaloo inside, great feed, and throws it down. And then we got bodies hitting the deck after the play. And now Tugler's down and banged up. What just happened here? Excellent pick and roll. What a feed from Clayton to find the rolling Chinaloo. And then he just puts his shoulder into the stomach of Tugler. Kind of a suspect play there.
Are we going to the monitor?
Wouldn't shock me if we went to the monitor. No monitor look here. First substitutions for the game here. Houston will make a change. Javier Francis in. Tugler will take a seat. Huff in for Florida. Francis driving inside, gets inside, can't put down a dunk. Offensive rebound, Juwan Roberts. His putback no good. And now Florida is running out in transition. But Clayton just dribbled it away. Now Cryer with the steal in transition. Pull up 3. Too strong. Ball tipped out by Roberts. And yet another offensive rebound. Sharp for 3. No. And the Gators track down this rebound. Houston is all over the glass. 5 offensive rebounds. But Florida in transition gets an easy layup. So intriguing storylines early here. Houston, 5 offensive rebounds, but Florida with 6 points in transition. Houston not getting back. Sharp, tough contested step back 2 over Clayton goes. And we're back tied up at 8. Houston's not been able to find their stroke from beyond the arc. Clayton swinging it out of bounds. A second straight possession that features a turnover from Walter Clayton Jr. The guard averaging more than 20 points per game in this tournament, coming off of a 34-point performance on Saturday in the Final Four against Auburn, hasn't gotten the scoreboard yet and has a couple turnovers here early. We have 1,000 people watching. Appreciate everyone. We head to the under 16 timeout, tied up at 8 apiece between Houston and Florida. It will be Houston ball when we come out of the timeout. But while we are in our first timeout of the game, we'll have the opportunity to tell you about the official ticketing partner and sponsor of Chat Sports. That is Game Time, the best way to get last-minute tickets, whether you're going to a comedy show, a sporting event, a concert. Save up to 60% off buying last-minute tickets on Game Time. They have so many great features that make purchasing tickets easy. All-in pricing shows you the total price of your ticket up front with no surprise fees at checkouts. They have a full panoramic view of your seat in the app before you buy, and they have the lowest price guaranteed as well. If you find a different ticket for a cheaper price on a different service in the same exact section row, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Go to an MLB game this summer. Go to a concert in your local area, whether it's Chris Brown in Miami or Kendrick Lamar in Dallas at AT&T Stadium. Take advantage on Game Time, and they have great things for you as well. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Appreciate Game Time for sponsoring today's show. We're all tied up at 8 here. Super Chat menu on today's show. Every 100 subs we get, we take a shot. We'll check on where we're at there in just a moment. And then we're trying to see which fan base is the best fan base. Who has more fans, Houston or Florida? So every $5 Super Chat or more today, if you dedicate that in your message in the comments to a specific team between Houston or Florida, we'll add it to our total. Right now, Florida is beating Houston 15-0. Does a Cougar faithful have out there some back for their Cougs? Or is it going to be a Florida Gator runaway in the Chat Sports battle?
Hey, I warned you about H-Town.
Yeah, Justin told me that I shouldn't be rocking with Houston. There's not enough fans out there. Justin said it was going to be Gator City all day today. I thought my Houston Cougars were going to come ready to go. But Florida leading 15 right now. Let's check in on our live sub counter. We start today with 31. 405-031. So we've picked up about 49 subscribers. So we're 51 away from our first shot. Hit that sub button for daily content on YouTube, NBA, NFL, college basketball, college football. Make sure you do subscribe. Go live for the big events as well, like this one, NFL draft, NBA draft, free agency in both respective sports. A lot of fun. All right, 15 minutes to go in the first half as we resume action. Tied up at 8. Cougars all over the offensive glass, but not able to hit any shots from deep. They're shooting 4 of 13 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3. Pick and roll. Francis inside. Oh! Poster! Major facial! Francis throws it down, and the Cougars go up by 2. Clayton doubled at the top of the key, inside, stripped, out to the corner. It's Elijah Martin. Swings it for Huff. His three-pointer, no. Rebound, Francis, and he saves it before heading out of bounds to Cryer. Sharp, transition 3, too strong. Ball loose, and it's picked up by Aberdeen, who just checked in for the Gators. So both teams exercising some substitutions. Clayton from the logo. No. Rebound offensively, Huff, and he throws down a slam. So Walter Clayton has now taken 2 threes from the logo, and he's missed badly twice. Uneasy start for Clayton. Couple turnovers, couple bad missed shots. Tied up at 10 here. Roberts has it on the right wing, facing up on Huff, driving, spinning. He's a left-hander. He's trying to get to his left hand. He does, but unable to knock it down. Ball goes out of bounds, and officials will say it's off the back of big for Florida, Hoagleton, and it will stay with the Cougars. What a dunk by Francis. Major poster here in San Antonio. Did they change the call? Yeah, officials did come together and said it was actually off of Houston. So Florida ball. Joseph Tugler back into the game for the Gators. Noah says the Heat are losing to the Sixers. They were up 10 last time I checked. You're right, they are losing. Awesome. Aberdeen gets it over to Huff. Now to Honglaten at the top of the key. Back to Clayton. He's doubled. Houston doubling almost every time he has it. Swung to Aberdeen. Back out to Huff. He pump fakes a three. Drives inside. Stripped, and it's turned over. Picked up by Arcano, who just checked in for Houston. Cryer on the left wing is yet to get on the scoreboard. He was the leading scorer for Houston. He'll line up a top of the key three. Air ball out of bounds, and it goes back to Florida. So a rough start for Houston's best player, LJ Cryer. No points yet. Same thing could be said for Florida's best player, Walter Clayton. Double S says, I have to give Brendan Carroll a shout out. All right, shout out to Brendan Carroll. Rolling with Houston. We'll see if he's a man of his word inside. 1,200 people watch him. Let me know who you got in the chat. F for Florida, H for Houston. Clayton has it. Yet to score in this one. He has it guarded by Tugler on the right wing. 12 on the shot clock. Swings it over to Huff. Back to Clayton. From the logo again. Another bad miss. Rebound to Francis. Clayton's 3 threes that he's taken today combined, I'd say, or on average, about 30 feet on each of those threes. He's launching them. Each team has not been able to hit a three-pointer. LJ Cryer has it top of the key. Now he gets it back to Uzan. Uzan gets a screen from Francis. Uzan working on Condon. Pull-up floater. Gets it to go. Uzan really struggled on Saturday against Duke. He's got an early 4 points here. Huff over to Condon. Condon on the left wing. Now the top of the key. Back inside. That was a travel. Yeah, Alex Condon shuffled the puppies inside. And it's going to be going back to Houston. That's now the 3rd turnover on Florida early here. So a little uneasy for the Gators. Actually, excuse me, that's their 4th turnover. Houston has none. Next stoppage in the action will be our under 12 timeout. Houston leading here early. Tugler sets a screen for Uzan. Uzan rejects the screen. Now is doubled, swings it to Tugler. Tugler hands it off to Archino. He drives on Clayton, loses the handle, regains control, 5 on the shot clock. There is an issue for Houston. Wilson has to make something happen. 3 at the buzzer. No. And it's rebounded by Condon inside. Outlet to Clayton. Here comes Florida. Richard throws it inside, but it's stolen away. What a play by the Cougars. Uzan now out in transition. Picked up by Richard and forces the Houston offense to reset. Uzan doubled, swings it to Arcano. He's got a left wing 3. No good, and both teams still have not hit a 3-point shot almost halfway through this first half. 0 of 8 from 3, the Cougars are. 0 of 5 for Florida. Low-scoring affair here in San Antonio for the national championship. Aberdeen gets a screen, drives on Uzan, step back free throw line jumper, too strong, and it's rebounded by Roberts inside. Feels like it's first to 50 wins. My goodness, if you like offense, this is not the game for you. Uzan pick and roll with Roberts. Roberts driving on Condon. Bump. Finish. Good. And Houston has a 4-point lead. It's their largest of the game. It's been back and forth at 2, but Houston's led the entire way, or at least has been tied. Florida has not scored a point in 3 minutes and change. Tugler picks up a second foul, a bad mistake by him, reaching in at the top of the key on Clayton. So that's 2 fouls now for Tugler. Timeout here. Houston leading over the Gators 14-10 with 10:40 to go in this first half. You know, I like this. I want to get the thoughts in the chat. Rate this year's Final Four. So obviously, Houston came back from behind, beat Duke on Saturday night. Florida beat Auburn. I got to be honest, I'd rate this Final Four as a 10. 2 unbelievable games and a doubleheader on Saturday night. I think this game's going to be competitive throughout. I'd give it a 10. Braxton says a 10. Jakaya says a 10. Diverse says a 10. Quentin says a 10. Double S says a 10. I think this is a 10.
We get a good game tonight. Talking about top 5 all time.
I think so, and a lot of people expected that with how good the 4 teams were. Usually you get one team making the Final Four that made a Cinderella run, and then it comes crashing down when they meet the big competition in the Final Four, but not the case this year. 4 top dogs. Journey to Healing says 10. Thomas says 10. Tal says 10. Scott says 8. GR says 9.49. No rookie scores over there. Noah saying 10. Listen, if you want a shout out, let me know how you guys rate this Final Four this year. You got to be subscribed to be able to comment. We're in subscriber-only mode, so if you can't comment, that's probably why. Hit that sub button. My brother says 9.5. Tyler says 10. Joseph 9. Antonio 10. What's up, Wasim? Wasim saying 10. If Wasim says 10, I believe him. Polo saying Houston, let's go. I'm rocking with Houston. Justin rocking with Florida today. Who wins? Houston, Florida. Who wins? Rolly Justin. Yeah, it's a good time to showcase our Super Chat menu as well, Justin. Every $100, or excuse me, every 100 subs, we take a shot at tequila. I got my Patron with me. $5 or more, pick a side. We'll add it to the total. And if you want to send in a $50 Super Chat, I'll take down a beer bong. I'll pull a Happy Dad into the Merbanga. But we did just get a Super Chat. Shout out to my guy, Jeff Bartlett, with the $5 Super Chat. And he's rocking with me, going with Houston. This is the Houston Cougar thing, right? This is the Cougar thing. The Cougs from Houston. I'm rocking with Houston. Justin's rocking with the Gators. Let's go Houston, baby. They lead 14-10. Houston's 0 of 8 from 3, Justin. They shoot 39.3% from 3 as a team. It's the best in Division I. They steal it away out of the timeout, and in transition, Tyleek Wilson lays it up and in. So the Cougars have their largest lead of the game, and they continue to extend it, 16-10. Shout out to Jeff Bartlett, $5. He gets Houston on the board in our Houston-Florida battle. That's the 6th turnover of the half on the Gators. They struggled with turnovers against Auburn on Saturday. Elijah Martin doubled, kicks it over to Condon. His three-pointer, no. Rebound, fought for, still loose. It's picked up by Chinaloo inside for the Gators. Kicked out to Richard, his corner 3. And we finally have a three-pointer made. Will Richard buries one from the corner to cut the Houston lead down to 3. 1 of 7 from 3 are the Gators. 0 of 7 for Houston. Cryer, baseline, cut off, gets it to Wilson. Wilson backing down, shimmy shake, up and under move. What a move by the big man inside. Excuse me, that was Javier Francis who banked it home with his left hand. He's got 4 points. Houston back up by 5. Richard wanting another 3. He's feeling it. And it's to a 2-point game. All it took was 1 to go down for Richard. He's now got 6 points on 2 triples. Francis now gets it over inside. Francis faces up on the low block. Spin move. Up and under move. Left hand. It goes. And now the offenses are starting to click for both sides. 2016, Houston lead. Condon faked the handoff to Richard. Now gets it to Martin. Martin inside the Condon. He backs and kicks it back out. Almost turns it over. Ball loose. Aberdeen saves it and gets it to Richard. Richard feeling it. Gets a screen. Doubled to Condon. Condon spinning. Back out to Richard. But that's going to be a travel on the sophomore Alex Condon. That's the second travel that he's had in the last 4 or 5 minutes. And a 7th turnover the first half. Florida. Shout out to my guy Wasim Khan, who sent in a $5 super chat. I'm just happy Duke lost. I think, Wasim, are you rocking with Houston? I thought I saw you say that in the chat, so we might have to add another 5 to the Houston tally, Justin. And now we're starting to see a battle take shape. Pick and roll by Houston. It's turned over. Will Richard in transition to the rim. Layup rejected by Wilson. Do not go in there. Houston in transition. Sharp driving inside. A lot of contact. No good. A block. And it goes out of bounds off Houston. Frenetic back and forth sequence there between the Cougars and Gators. It will ultimately be Florida basketball as they trail by 4. 7:42 to go in this first half. We'll have our second or third timeout of the first half here. After the Wasim $5 super chat, it's officially 15-10 between our Florida-Houston battle. I want to know who's got the better fan base, and it looks like Florida has the lead right now, but that certainly can be changed. All right, folks. Who is the better fan base? We'll find out, but there is no debate on who is the best ticketing app out there, and that's Game Time, the official ticketing sponsor and partner of us here at Chat Sports. Every time I go to a live event, I use Game Time to get my tickets. They have so many great features, and this summer, when it's nice outside, yeah, I'm going to be going to some concerts. Yeah, I'm going to some MLB games, but you could still go to some NBA, some hockey games while those regular seasons end up, postseason underway. Game Time has last-minute deals. Save up to 60% buying last-minute tickets. They also have Game Time Picks, a feature that makes last-minute ticket buying easier than ever because they quickly highlight the best deals in your specific stadium. They give you a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy, so you know exactly where you're sitting. No stanchion, no pole, no billboard is going to be in your way. Go see Kendrick Lamar on tour. Go see Chris Brown on tour. Go see your local baseball team. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app and create an account. Use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Link is in the live chat and description of today's show. All right, we have an update on who is the better college fan base as well, folks. And we're tied up at 15, Justin. We got a battle between the Cougars from Houston and the Gators from Florida.
Where are my Gators fans at? We started off so strong.
Glenn coming in with a $5 super chat, watching from Japan. Go Houston. How about that, Justin? So we're tied up at 15 a pop because of Glenn. How about that, man?
Hey, we're global.
And that's why I love Chat Sports. That's why I love hanging out with you guys on YouTube. You are global. We're in Dallas, Texas, but we got people watching from Japan. We got people watching from Florida, New Hampshire, California, the Philippines from Groovy. It don't matter. We're tied up at 15. I think we got a battle on our hands tonight. It's going to be fascinating to see who comes through.
Well, we also got another update.
Oh, and we crossed over 100 subscribers on the live show. Every 100 subs today is a shot of tequila. I want to get to 406,000 total. That'd be 10 shots. I'd be in trouble. But I'll do it for 1,000 subs. Shout out to all y'all. All right. We're about to get back in action here in San Antonio as we are in the under 8 portion of this first half. Not a lot of free throws or anything like that, so we've had a pretty quick game in the first half so far, Justin. Out of the timeout, beautiful play design by Todd Golden, scripting up a backdoor cut for Elijah Martin, and the Gators cut the deficit down to 2. Martin averaging 15 points per game in this tournament, hasn't got going yet. The other way comes Houston. Roberts spinning, fouled inside, and on cue, we'll have the first foul of the game on Florida. How about that? And 2 free throws coming for Houston. I mentioned not a lot of fouls. Houston has only been fouled or had been called for 3 fouls, and we've seen 1 foul for Florida. Juwan Roberts going to the line, 1 of 5 in from the field, has a good portion of rebounds as well. He makes the first free throw to get the lead for Houston back to 3. $7:13 to go in the first half. Roberts can't get the friendly roll on the second free throw, so the Cougar lead stays at 3. Clayton has not scored tonight. Kicks it over to Richard. Richard has made a couple threes here in the first half. Martin has it now. Roberts switches on. Martin gets a screen. Francis switches on. This Houston team knows how to switch. 5 on the shot clock. Richard pressed up a guy on the run on the right wing, inside. 1 on the shot clock. It's to Huff. Huff blocked, and that is going to be a shot clock violation. Houston basketball prides itself on its offensive rebounding, its defense. You see that on full display right there. 6.5 to go in the first half. Houston leading 21-18. 8 turnovers on Florida. Houston's yet to make a 3. They shot 39% from beyond the arc as a team this year. Sharp looking to change that. Can't even hit rim. This Cougar team just can't locate their outside shot. 0 of 8 now. Clayton, we know he can hit a shot from the outside. Ball worked around to the corner. It's Richard. He buries a 3. And it's tied up at 21. That is the 3rd triple of the game for Will Richard. He's got 9 points for Florida. Wilson bringing the ball up for Houston. Now over to Cryer, who's yet to get on the scoreboard for the Cougars. He'll line up a deep 3. And Houston finally has their own triple. A parking lot tray ball from L.J. Cryer. Clayton doubled over to Huff inside. Drop off inside. Blocked by Francis. Houston in transition. Sharp to Wilson. The alley-oop slam. And the Cougar faithful losing it in San Antonio. And then a jump ball on the other end. What a sequence for Houston. Deep 3. Rejection. Alley-oop slam in transition. And then another block. That's a jump ball. My goodness, is Houston basketball fun when they're running out in transition. Defense, athleticism. Wow. What a play there. Florida inbound. Clayton in the corner. Fadeaway 3. A bad shot. Doesn't go. There's a lot of game left here, Justin, but Walter Clayton, we might have to put on choke watch. Open corner 3 for Wilson. Oh my God, he just banked it in from the corner. And Houston has their largest lead of the game. It's 29-21. It's an 8-0 Houston run in the last 50 seconds. I'll say this, if Florida can't get a bucket, it might be timeout time for Todd Golden. Travel. Will Richard called for the turnover. Another Florida turnover. If the Cougars are able to get another bucket here to extend the lead for 10, you can almost guarantee Florida calls a TO. I would borderline think they should do it now. I actually think they did do it now. I think Todd Golden wants to talk things over before we get to the under 4. 29-21. Houston leads. Wow, what a game we've had so far. We've also almost had 50,000 people tune in on the night. We have over 2,000 people watching now. Help us out. This has been a great game. Hit that thumbs up icon. Let's get to 500 likes. There's no excuse for us not having 500 likes right now. Come on. Hit that like button, folks. We're live for free here on a Monday evening for the national championship game. Hit the thumbs up icon. Help us out. Let's get to 500 likes.
If Walter Clayton isn't going to score, it could get very spooky because we saw what happened against Auburn.
I mean, you look at his stat line. 0 points. I know he has 3 assists, but 0 points, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 0-4 from the field, all of them being 3-pointers, all of them bad shots.
The wild thing is, okay, had a great second half against Auburn. What was he doing primarily to get himself going? Going to the basket. Why are we settling for threes? Especially parking lot threes so early in the game.
Yeah, and that was my first, I didn't want to overreact, but when on the first Florida possession of the game, he just randomly launches a 30-footer from the logo with 15 on the shot clock, you just have no choice but to question what he's thinking there. Now, if he makes it, different story. He's probably feeling good about himself, and maybe we got a different ball game. But when you launch a 3 from 33 feet with 15 on the shot clock that was semi-contested, what are we doing?
I mean, have any of his three-point attempts been a good look?
No. And he's a tough shot taker, a tough shot maker, but it's been a rough first half for Walter Clayton Jr. Now, he's a second-half guy, but we'll see, man. Has not been pretty. Has not been pretty. Kai C says, how do I super chat? If you're on your phone, there should be a little rectangle box with a money logo underneath the stream. I'm actually not sure how to do it on your laptop. It might be the same thing. But this is our super chat menu. Every 100 subscribers we get on today's show, we'll take a shot. We'll check in on that next time out under 4. $5, pick a side. Right, we're trying to see who's the better fan base and who's going to support their program the most. Right now it's tied 15-all between Houston and Florida. Who's going to break that tie? Houston's on the scoreboard, but it's tied up in the super chat battle between the two fan bases. And if you send in a $50 super chat, I'll chug a beer. All right, under 5 to go here in the first half. Uzan's got it on the right wing. He's defended by Clayton. Robert sets him a screen. Uzan drives left, hangs, loses the ball, gets it back, puts up a floater, no good. Offensive rebound, Arcano inside, but Condon rips it away from him. Second turnover of the game by the Cougs. Ball worked around the perimeter for Florida. Martin's got it top of the key. Finds a curling Richard. Inside the Condon. Condon lays it up and in. Good play there by Florida. The sophomore's got 6 points. That's the deficit as well for Florida. Cryer gets a screen from Roberts on the left wing. Double teamed. Reverses out to Wilson. He'll try a top of the key 3. Too strong, and the ball will go out of bounds, and the ball will go back to Florida. 3:40 to go in the first half. We'll head to our under 4 timeout. With 2,100 people watching, I want to make sure you're subscribed to Chat Sports here. Let's get this number up. We started out at 405,031. So when we get to 405,231, I take another shot. But we have a great crew here at Chat Sports. Your boy Nic Rohloff, Harrison Graham, Tyler Jones, Jack Sperry, Tom Downey. A whole lot of people here put out a great content with the NBA, NFL, college basketball, college football, daily content, live for the big events. Hit that sub button. There's no other place you need to go on YouTube for your sports content than us here at Chat Sports. Hit that sub button. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, look at this. We got a $10 super chat from the big kahuna. James Yoder's in the building. How about this? How about this? A $10 super chat. One, tell your boy Justin to come on the producer mini cam. You ask, you receive. Justin, welcome to the mini skybox. Number 2, go Houston in the super chat battle. 3, why did Texas waste the talent of my boy Lane Highlands finest, Trey Johnson? That's a question for you, Justin.
Hey, there's a reason why we have a new coach.
That's why Sean Miller's now coaching in Texas, and it's no longer tournamentary.
But it's all good. Lake Highlands zone. Because Houston people, I don't know if y'all know it. I think Dallas basketball does a little better, a.k.a. Trey Johnson. But, I mean, I think that was the last time that Houston has somebody come out and win. It's the Harrison twins.
Yeah, they went to the same high school as our own Marshall Green. I don't know if he's told you that story.
He has not.
The Harrison twins, same high school as Marshall. Well, either way, that James Yoder $10 super chat puts the Cougars up by 10. The Gators started up 15-0, Justin. Houston on a 25-0 run. They lead 29-23, and now they lead 25-15. I said before the game that whatever fan base I think shows out the most tonight gets it done. That's why I thought I was going with Houston. I'm rocking with the Cougs. You were rocking with the Gators. I'm getting proven right now. That's all I'm going to say.
Florida faithful, where we at? The trend of the game has literally gone the way of the super chats.
Not many chomps happening in the chat right now. Or on the game. Florida's really struggling getting into their offense. A lot of turnovers. A lot of interesting shot selections. Houston, and that's the part where if you're Florida, I think you should be scared. Houston hasn't been able to capitalize on any of these threes. Any of them.
I mean, it's kind of how the Duke game went. They wasn't blowing the doors off from the three-point line. It was just hustle.
Grace says in the chat, say I love Florida for $100. I'll say it for $100. I love Florida, but are you going to back up your word? We'll find out. Back out of the timeout. Condon right hook. Blocked inside by Roberts. How many rejections have the Cougars had today? That's got to be about 4 or 5 blocks. That's 5 to be exact. The eyes were eyeing. And we also have a tie ball game in our super chat battle. It's tied up at 25 apiece after Thomas Futch comes in with a 10. Baseline out of bounds play. Beautifully drawn up. Will Richard with the curling baseline J. And it's 29-25. Where would Florida be without Will Richard, Justin? He's got 11 of the Gators' 25 points.
Walter Clayton, please show up, my man.
Uzan's got it right wing. They try to get it to Roberts. He's getting hounded by Condon. Uzan has to reverse course to Javier Francis. Uzan doubled. 4 on the shot clock. He's going to have to force something up. Deep left wing 3. Too strong. Condon with the board. And he'll bring it up for the Gators, but now wisely get it over to Walter Clayton. Clayton at the top of the key will get a screen. He's doubled. The Condon out of the short roll. The Chinaloo inside. His left hook shot. Too strong. Rebound to Francis. Javier Francis has given the Cougars big minutes off the bench with Joseph Tugler in foul trouble with 2. Wilson, pull up J. No, rattled home and out. Rebound Florida. Here comes Clayton in transition. Cut off. Finds a trailing Condon. And now Condon will set up Richard. Back to Condon on the short roll. Doubled. Condon reverses it out to Martin. His left wing 3. No. Rebound by Houston. Wilson after a great box out for the Cougs. Under 2 to play here in the first half. 29-25. Houston leads. Uzan on the left wing. They're trying to get it inside, but they can't. Now Roberts sets a screen for Uzan. Uzan swings it to Cryer. Pull-up elbow jumper. Silky smooth from the veteran. 5 points now for Cryer. 2021 national champion with the Baylor Bears, looking to become a second champion here with a different franchise program. Will Richard, left wing 3. He's got 3 of them. 2 short there, no good. The ball will bounce out of bounds. How about KC with a $20 super chat? Houston, for me, P.S. I played professional baseball for years, and I would never have the confidence to live stream a baseball game on YouTube with a cam on me the whole time. Props to you. Very cool. Very impressive drive. Keep it up. Well, that's a very nice comment. We appreciate you, and you deliver Houston a $20 lead, 45-25. Appreciate you, Kai. Crier to Roberts at the top of the key. A minute to go in this first half. Roberts gets to his left hand. No good. Ball tipped. Rebounded by Clayton. Transition opportunity for Florida. Left wing 3, Richard. Another one! Will Richard unconscious from deep. He's got 14 points. He's 4 or 5 from 3. And Houston leads just by 3. 12-second differential shot clock, game clock for Houston. They'll call a timeout with 34 seconds to go. Got to burn one there. You can't carry all 4 timeouts into the second half. So Kelvin Sampson will script up a play here, leading by 3. Wow. What a first half we have had here early, folks.
I think it's been a great game.
It has been a terrific game. I mean, I thought for a split second when Houston took a, 29-21 lead? Or 28-20?
Yeah, 29-21.
21. I thought we were in trouble of a good game because Florida looked out of sorts. Houston was on a roll. But you can really thank Will Richard for making this a game. Like, Florida was on the verge of being blown out, I think. But him making a couple threes back-to-back stabilized the Gators. He's got 14 in the ball game now. Houston was upset about this not being called a goaltend by Florida. They have a legit gripe. That ball was firmly still on the rim when Hanglatten tipped it off. That should be 2 points for Houston. That is not had. Put a pitch mark in that one, Justin.
Definitely something to look at.
Houston will inbound here with 34 seconds left in the first half, 22 seconds on the shot clock. Uzan's got it, top of the key. Houston leading by 3. Gets it over to Francis on the left wing. They try to get it to Crier. They do. 10 on the shot clock. Crier gets a screen from Roberts. Pull up left wing 3 for Crier. Too strong. Ball loose. Picked up by Uzan. Top of the key 3. Air ball. I mean, Houston, the number 1 3-point shooting team in all of Division I this year, averaging 39.1% as a team, is 2 of 14 from beyond the arc. And the Gators, depending on what happens here, could have a tie ball game. 5 on the shot or game clock. Clayton doubled. Gets it over to Richard. 3. Crossover. Up and under. At the buzzer. It hit back rim and couldn't fall. So that will be the half. We're going into halftime with the Houston Cougars, the Big 12 champs, the 1 seed out of the Midwest, leading by 3 over the 1 seed from the West, Florida. A very competitive, back and forth first half. Ends with Houston leading by 3. So after the first 20 minutes are played, I want to know, is there a change in the thought process here? Who you got? After seeing 20 minutes of play, now who are you rocking with? I'm changing the live poll. We've seen 20 minutes of play. Has your thoughts changed? Florida was the original leader in the clubhouse, 52% of the votes. We'll see now. Double S saying Florida. Silly Girl saying Florida. Tie Man's rocking with Florida still. Gamer saying Houston. Thomas saying Houston. Quentin with Houston. Smug saying Houston. Noah going with Florida. Celine saying Florida. Carlita saying Houston. Wasim says Florida. I think he picks it up in the second half. Listen, I think there's multiple ways to go about this, Justin. You can be a Florida Gator supporter and be like, okay, we played terrible. we're only losing by 3, and Walter Clayton has 0 points, and you could also be Houston, where you're like, we're shooting a horrific 2 of 14 from 3, and we're leading by 3. Like, I think the way you could act, like, if you asked a Houston fan before the game at halftime, you're shooting 2 of 14 from 3. Do you think you're winning or losing? I think every single Houston fan would say we're losing. 2 of 14 from 3 against Florida, we're winning? No chance. But if you asked a Florida fan, Walter Clayton Jr. has 0 points at half. How much are you losing by? They'd probably say 10 or 15, and they're only down 3.
I mean, if it wasn't for a performance by an out-of-box player, so to speak, it might be a double-digit deficit right now.
Yeah, I mean, Will Richard, he has been good for them, but has struggled a little bit in the tournament. It's been the Walter Clayton and Elijah Martin show as of late, but Will Richard announcing himself as a big-time player in this game. That's for sure.
And quite honestly, I feel like Houston, they're still playing, despite the kind of lack of three-point shooting, I still feel like they're playing their game.
Yeah. So when you look at the live poll here, Justin, it's actually a 50-50 split. So out of the 250 votes, it's 50-50 between Florida and Houston. How about that? How about that? How about that? I think everyone should know the answer here, but this is a good question to ask the people, Justin. Who's been the best player in the game? As we are at halftime, who's been the best player? I think without a question, even though Houston's winning, the best player has been Will Richard.
And who would have guessed that?
Not me. I mean, I could have given you probably... I mean, Richard is a good player. I would have probably given you 5 names before I got to even thinking about him, though. I would have given you Clayton, obviously. I would have given you Cryer. I would have thought about giving you Juwan Roberts. I would have even given you Milos Uzan or Emmanuel Sharp from Houston before the game, Elijah Martin from Florida. I would have probably guessed Will Richards as the third option for Florida, but in the game, probably like 6 or 7 would have been before. He's been insane, though. He's been insane. He has been insane. All right, still 20,000 people watching. Oh! We've crossed 200 subscribers on today's live show. You know what that means, Justin?
Pour it up, pour it up.
Another shot. We started at 405.031, so the fact that we got to 405.231 means another shot, which means the next shot comes at 405.331. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, we can showcase our Super Chat menu real quick, and then I'll probably read through some first half stats. It's our Super Chat menu. Every 100 subscribers we get today, I'm taking a shot tequila. We put out daily content here on the NBA, NFL, college football, college basketball, live for big events like the Final Four, Super Bowl, National Championship, NBA Finals, whole 9 yards. We are the best here on YouTube, so hit that sub button. Great cast of hosts alongside our individual channels. We're having a battle between Houston and Florida. I want to know what team is going to get the most Super Chats tonight. Right now, Houston leading on the scoreboard, also leading in the battle. We've had a total of $70 in donations today. It's been awesome. Appreciate everyone. 45 going in for the Cougs, 25 from Florida. Does the Gator faithful have an answer during halftime, or is the Cougar faithful going to continue to add to their lead? Go Cougs. I'm a Coug today. Justin's rocking with the Gators.
Guys, the game trend has gone to Super Chat. We got to a hot start in Florida, and then Houston has just come roaring back. And quite honestly, Florida, we're a second half team. We saw what happened the last game, so I think we got to start things off. Rally the troops, rally Walter Clayton, and show some love.
All right, Justin, as are, between me and you at least, our Florida supporter today, if you want to see the Gators cutting down the nets tonight, What needs to happen in the second half that did not happen in the first half? And I'll make it difficult. It can't be Walter Clayton scoring.
I can't do the TD Jakes meme. Wake up, wake up.
Yeah, no. You have to pick an actual thing that Florida needs to do.
I think it has to be control the defensive glass. How many times have we seen Houston extend a possession on the offensive glass? And quite honestly, we know that's Houston's MO. They're going to crash the boards. But how many times have we seen Florida score in transition? Only way you can start a transition break is if you rebound the basketball.
And from the flip side, as our Houston guy on this stream tonight, I think that the recipe for success for the Cougars was had to the fullest extent. You out-rebounded the Gators. Or actually, never mind, excuse me. I meant to say offensively. The Houston offense, 6 offensive rebounds. Florida with 4. So you're attacking the glass. That was necessary. You turning them over. Florida's got 9 turnovers. Houston's got 2. I will say with about half of the turnovers that Florida has had, though, has actually been dead ball turnovers, whether it's been thrown out of bounds or travels, which has been beneficial to them because Houston really hasn't got out in transition as much as they should off of those turnovers. But if you're the Cougars and you want to win this game, you have to continue to out-rebound them on the glass, and you have to continue to turn them over, but you also have to limit your turnovers. You've only had 2 turnovers. We talked about Florida's transition being the second best in Division I this year with averaging around 18 points a game in transition. If you continue to limit your turnovers, you're going to be in a good spot. Now you sprinkle in a couple made threes, and you're probably going to be winning this game with a minute to go. So it's kind of where things stand, at least in my opinion there. Still have over 2,000 people watching. If you have not already, please hit that like button. We only got 431. We need to get to 500 likes at bare minimum during halftime. Bare minimum. Let's get to 500 likes. There's 68 people out there that haven't liked the video. I know there isn't. So come on. What a game we have here in the first half. I think we're going to have another good half of basketball coming up in just a bit. Show your appreciation. Help us out by pushing our stream out to YouTube more. More likes means more people come in because YouTube pushes our stream out there more in terms of the algorithm. All right. Let's look at some first half stats now. Leading scorer in the basketball game is Will Richard from Florida. He's got 14 points, 5 boards. He's shooting 5 of 8 from the field and 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. The rest of the team for Florida, their next leading scorer is Alex Condon with 6 points. Chinalu's got 2, Martin's got 2, Huff has got 2, and Hanlawton has 2. For Houston, talk about a balanced effort. They've had 8 people check in. 7 out of the 8 players that have played have scored. Leading scorer in the game is Myleik Wilson, who's got 7 points off the bench. Second leading scorer, Javier Francis, with 6 off of the bench. Francis has actually been integral for the Cougars today. 6 points, 4 boards, 2 blocks off of the bench. LJ Cryer's got 5. Emmanuel Sharp's got 2. He's 1 of 7 from the field. He's got to get going. Also need to get Jawan Roberts going, the big man. He's got 3 points, 4 boards on 1 of 6 shooting. Joseph Tugler's got 4 points, but was limited in his play in the first half due to getting early foul trouble. He's got 2. And then Milos Uzan, who's got 4 points, 3 boards. He's 2 of 5 from the field. So, listen, the Cougars balanced attack offensively today. Lot to like there if you're Houston, but there's a lot to improve on as well for the second half. 471 likes. Come on, we're 29 away from getting the 500 likes. Help me out, folks. Help me out. Hit that thumbs up icon. Help me out. Hit that thumbs up icon. We're 5 likes away from 500. Come on. There we go. We got to 500 likes. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. It's still 50-50 in our live poll, Justin, of who you got, Houston or Florida. 50-50. How about that?
I think it's anybody's game right now.
I really think it is. I mean, this is going to be, it's going to be tight down the stretch. You know it is. You know it's going to be tight. You know it's going to be tight.
Rolly, let me ask you this question. What has been the best moment in the tournament so far this year, in your opinion?
Best moment of the tournament? Probably Derek Queen's. Well, that last 30-second collapse by Duke in the Final Four is hard to on top. But if you're just talking best moment, Derek Queen's running bank winner against Colorado State in the round of 32, like that was true onions, like buzzer beater as it sounded, game winner. So I'd probably say Derek Queen's game winner in the round of 32 over Colorado State was the best moment of the tournament. When you say individual moment, but when you factor in what it means in terms of who wins the whole thing and stuff like that, it's hard to say like Houston's crazy comeback against Duke in the final minute was probably the biggest moment, best moment. Oh, also, shout out to UConn's women basketball for winning the national championship yesterday. We talked about why was that a 7.5-point spread. I didn't understand it. I tried to bet dumb and win by taking South Carolina plus 7.5. What a mistake that was.
Oh, yeah. I mean, didn't I warn you?
Yeah. I mean, just a disaster.
Kid Cudi, that is true. But that's a reason why they probably weren't going to win.
Yeah. Listen, I've never seen a South Carolina team get dismantled the way that happened. Right? Like, just never seen it. Heat ended up winning against the Sixers. They won by double digits. Losers. Should have lost. Should have lost. All right. We got over 500 likes during halftime. That's what was the goal. Showcase our super chat menu here again at halftime. As we do probably have 7 minutes left in the half. 7 minutes until we resume play. 7 minutes. Every 100 subscribers, we take a shot tequila on the day. I got my Patron with me. Every 100 subscribers, we're trying to get to 706,000. How about that? We're at 705.2 and change. We're also doing a battle. We want to see which fan base will show out the most between Houston and Florida. As an objective viewer of the game, someone who did not go to any of these schools, did not go to a rival. I went to St. Bonaventure, New York. I want to see which fan base is going to come out and support themselves the most. So if you send a super chat and donate, make sure you say in your text what you want to do in terms of Houston or Florida so we see who wins. And then $50 if someone sends that in. That one really create separation between this battle right now. And I'll take down a beer bong, chug a Happy Dad through a Merbanga right as it came in. And we're trying to see who's got the better college fan base here on YouTube. Right now at halftime, Houston's winning 45-25. It's not the score of the game. It's Houston 31-28. But and we've mentioned this, we both believe the winner of this battle will win this battle. And it's kind of mirroring what we thought as well, Justin.
Again, a game of runs and a game of super chats.
Yeah, you talk about a game of runs. Florida started on a 15-0 run in terms of this battle. And then Houston answered with 25. Then Florida answers to tie it up at 25. But then it's a 20-0 run for Houston to take the lead. It's been a battle. It surely has. It has been a battle. Oh, and we are going to see a team take a little bit more of a lead, Justin. Uh-oh. Is this going to be... Are we going to run away with it? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Are we going to see a blowout? Not on the scoreboard, but maybe in the Super Chat battle. Shout out to my guy, Jeff Bartlett, with the $5 Super Chat. Because I live in San Antonio, though a Michigan fan, Houston is the home team. Go Houston. So that adds 5 to the Cougars, which means they now lead the battle 50-25, doubling up the Florida Gators faithful, which is surprising to me, Justin, because you're rocking with Florida, I'm rocking with Houston, but there feels like there's more Florida Gators fans in the live chat, yet Cougar faithful, the crew I'm riding with, shout out to the H's, is showing up more in our battle. So what are your thoughts on that, Justin?
Hey, I got nothing else to say. I mean, I got to give credit to Houston. They've showed out. They heard the disrespect from the Dallas faithful, and they're shutting me up.
Shutting you up. Shutting you up. Still got about 3 minutes until we get back in the second half action. A relatively quick first half. Listen, the game tipped off at 8:52 Eastern time, and it's 9:56 Eastern time, and we're about to get out a half. So, I mean, a pretty quick half, but, I mean, I mentioned it in the first half. When you only have 4 total fouls and 4 total free throws, the game is going to move a lot quick. It's going to move very quick. Very, very quick. Where are we at in subscribers, Justin? We actually somehow went unders, so I lost. Shouldn't have taken that shot. Remember, every 100 subscribers today, I take a shot tequila. But also, you should subscribe regardless because, well, if we don't get subscribers, then we won't do these things often. But boy, is it very fun to come hang out and do these big live events with you guys, whether it's the College National Championship game here, in football, basketball, NFL content every day, NBA on a weekly basis as well. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun, man. So hopefully you join us along for the ride. There's some subscribers. Promise you won't regret it. Plus, we're in subscriber only mode in our live chat all night long. So the only way that you can comment in the live chat is if you're subscribed. It's the only way. Wow, Heat won by 12. I'm pretty sure the spread in that game was 12.5. Wow, stunner. How do they know?
All right, both of these stars had quiet first half, so to speak. So I'm asking y'all this. Who's going to have the better second half? LJ Cryer or Walter Clayton Jr.?
It's hard not to say Walter Clayton, right? Because he's just been a second half freaking king. But we'll see. Quentin saying Walter Clayton, double S Clayton, Certified saying Cryer, Jay Clayton, Jaden Clayton, Tyman Clayton, Thomas Clayton. I'm seeing more Claytons, but I've seen a couple Cryers from Phillip, from Certified. JL rocking with Cryer. I like LJ Cryer, man. He's been a good rotational guy on Baylor for his first couple of years. And then transferred to Houston, was a pivotal player last year. Oh my God, look, it's Jim Boeheim. Do you see him in the back there? The guy in the gray?
Oh, yeah. I got a Jim Boeheim story.
Oh, what's the Jim Boeheim story? Quickly from Justin before the second half starts.
So one of my buddies I forget what city. I think it might have been Vegas. Yeah. They spent 5 hours between, I think, 2 a.m. and 7 a.m. gambling with him at the table. And they were asking him, like, hey, who's the player that you hated the most? I forget what player it was, but essentially it was funny, too, because after they were talking with him or whatever, he's like, hold on. I think it was around, like, 7:30, 8 a.m. or something like that. He's like, I got to take a phone call. I almost forgot about this. So he goes over to the next, like, blackjack table with nobody on there. And he takes a phone call, and they're like, what's going on? Why did he just suddenly leave, just randomly take a phone call this early in the morning? Turns out that interview was on the Dan Patrick Show, and he almost missed it because he was too caught up in the gambling.
What a story there on Jim Boeheim. That's why you subscribe to Chat Sports, folks. All right, we're officially back in the second half action. Houston starting with the ball, so possession error will favor Florida. Cryer's got it, 10 on the shot clock. He'll think about a three. He doesn't put it up. Nothing there. Now gets it to Roberts. Roberts fakes a handoff, drives inside. That's got to be a blocking foul. It is. And Alex Condon will be whistled for the blocking foul. I like the idea from the sophomore trying to get Roberts his second, but his feet were just moving there. We're not set, had his body kind of turned. It should be side out for Houston. I don't believe that he was in the act of shooting, and the officials believe the same that I do. So it'll be baseline for Uzan. Kick to the corner to Cryer, but he'll bring it out to the top of the key. Cryer, step back three, top of the key, and he rattles it home. If you're a Cougar faithful, you are very excited about LJ Cryer knocking down that three. His second, he's got 8 points. Richard, the hero for the Gators, driving, rejected inside by Houston. Cryer up ahead to Sharp, his left wing three. Boy, Emmanuel Sharp got blocked out of bounds by Clayton. Sharp is really struggling. 1 of 8 from the field now. A brutal performance from the veteran, the upperclassman. Inbounded for the Houston Cougars. They've got a 6-point lead. Uzan's got it right wing. Gets a screen from Tugler. Swings it to Sharp. Sharp gets it to Roberts. 8 on the shot clock. Roberts driving, spinning, fading away. Bank shot doesn't go, and Condon grabs the board. Outlets it to Clayton. Clayton in transition. Into Condon for a dunk. Condon with 8 points, and now Florida's on the board for the first time this half. Cryer open for 3, doesn't go, ball tipped around, gathered by Florida, and the Gators look to cut into this 4-point deficit. Clayton in transition. Offensive foul. Alex Condon fighting for position inside with Tugler, gets called for his second foul of the half already. That's going to be his second. So 2 early fouls by Condon in the second half. $18 minutes to go in this national championship game. Uzan working on Clayton. Clayton does a good job staying in front. Uzan driving, spinning, fouled. His shot does not go, but Uzan was able to force Clayton to reach in, and it's going to be 2 free throws now for Milos Uzan. Houston led as much as 8 in this game. 29-21 was their largest lead. Uzan's got 4 points, 3 boards, a really good shooter, and he buries the first free throw to lift Houston back up by 5. Uzan, the transfer, replacing Jamal Shedd at that point guard spot alongside Emmanuel Sharp and LJ Cryer. Not Jamal Shedd, but he's done an excellent job. Houston back up by 6 after Uzan makes both free throws. Houston as a team is 3 of 4 at the line. Florida's only 2 of 2. Not a lot of free throws today. Elijah Martin, 2 points in that half, not hitting anything going. Another turnover. Will Richard called for an illegal screen. That is the 11th turnover of the game on the Gators. That is the 4th foul on Florida early in this half, which means we could be seeing a lot of Houston free throws down the stretch, folks. Danger time sneaky for Florida. Cryer driving on the baseline, reverses out to Tugler, gets it back. Now picked up by Chinaloo. Bodies hit the deck, and they're going to call another foul here. This one's on Will Richard. Him and Tugler got tangled up. Richard hit the deck. That's the 5th foul now on Florida. And the Gators are 2 fouls away from being over the limit. A storyline that we are going to have to keep our eye on here. After only being called for 1 foul in the first half, Justin, they've been called for 5 in the first 2.5 minutes of the second half.
This is starting to feel like it's going to be pulling away from Florida.
I mean, they're just not playing smart, just getting too physical away from the ball. And are they calling this an away from the ball foul, and that's why it's a free throw for Cryer? I believe that is the case, or unless they got teed up. Unclear if there was a technical or not, but LJ Cryer's at the line here for 2. He makes the first. 7-point lead for the Cougars. And it will stay there as Cryer missed the second. Houston led by as much as 8.
Do you think about a timeout here if you give up a bucket?
No. I think they teed up a Houston assistant coach for stepping on the floor. I think that's what they just showed. So Houston led by as much as 8 in the first half, could take their largest lead of the game here with a bucket. It will be Houston ball on the baseline. Uzan to inbound. Gets it to the corner. Cryer, he's open for 3, and he knocks it down! Houston leads by 10. Cryer now with 12 points. He's got 7 in the second half. And then they'll whistle Houston for a foul at the top of the key. Did the NCAA say slow this game down or what? We saw 4 fouls in the first half. We've seen 6 in the first 3 minutes of the second half. Tugler picks up his 3rd foul. Javier Francis was big in the first half, checks in. I think that's what there was. I think there was a call made because box out foul on Javier Francis. So now 2 fouls against the Cougs. We have 7 total fouls in the first 3 minutes of the second half after 4 the entire first half. I think there was a call made, Justin.
He wrapped him on that one.
There might have been a call. Condon at the top of the key. Hands it off to Clayton. Clayton still scoreless. He's at the top of the key, working on Roberts. Gets a screen. Francis picks him up. Clayton gets downhill, throws it out of bounds. Turnover, Walter Clayton. Moment looks way too big for Walter Clayton Jr. Clayton Jr. has only taken a field goal attempt 1 in the last 16 minutes of game action. Roberts has it at the elbow, goes right at Condon, left hook, gets the friendly roll, and Houston leads by 12. Florida in a very, very dangerous spot right now. It's an 8-0 Cougar run over the last minute and a half. Huff into the game for Florida. Driving, kicking, Richard, corner 3. No. Rebound, Houston. Uh-oh, folks. Cryer brings it up for Houston. He's hot here in the second half. He gets it to Roberts. Roberts, push shot. No. Offensive rebound, Francis. calls a timeout before falling out of bounds. What a great heads-up offensive rebound and play by the backup big man, Javier Francis, who has been thrusted into the game due to Joseph Tugler being in foul trouble. Houston, largest lead of the game, right now is 12, 42-30. Florida needs to have an answer out of this timeout. And it'll be a perfect time for us to tell you about our sponsor and the ticketing partner of us here at Chat Sports. That is Game Time. Whether you want to go to a comedy show, concert, sporting event, get your tickets with Game Time. Killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, lowest price guaranteed. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. They've got zone deals, which save even more when you choose a section and let Game Time choose the seats. Game Time Picks is a last-minute ticket buying feature that makes it so easy by quickly highlighting the best deals in the stadium. They are the best last-minute deals. If you're a procrastinator, Game Time is the best spot for you. You can save up to 60% off buying last-minute tickets to an MLB game or any other sponsor, or any other place like a comedy show, concert. It's truly the only way I buy my tickets. Every time I'm looking to go to an event in Dallas, that's where we're located, I use Game Time. So download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right, folks, it's getting dangerous for Florida. Does that change the opinion of anybody in the chat? Who you got? Type F for Florida or H for Houston. Who you got? I've been rocking with Houston, the Cougs, all night long, and I feel pretty good about my pick, Justin. Are you feeling a little bit uneasy about your pick?
We're in the danger zone.
You very much are in the danger zone.
It's not looking good at all. Because especially since, I think you said it best, the moment's a little bit too big for a certain man.
Walter Clayton Jr., the guard. I'll say this. It's hard to say the moment's too big because he put up 34 in the Final Four, and he was unbelievable in the Elite Eight, the whole 9 yards. But, this has been an unbelievable choke job by Walter Clayton.
We're sitting at a goose egg, though. Hey, for his sake, I need him to at least score 1 point before the 10-minute mark. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah. It's a bad look, man. It is a bad, bad look. All right, time to get back in action here in San Antonio. It's Houston ball on the baseline. 42-30. 15:48 remains. Uzan to inbound. They get it to Sharp in the corner. Sharp gets it out to Cryer, who's had 7 points here early in the second half. Cryer working on Clayton. 6 on the shot clock. Drives right. Spins. Fades away at the free throw line. Can't get the friendly roll, and the rebound down to Huff for Florida. Oh, what a good pass inside by Clayton. Condon had Francis sealed inside, and they get an easy dunk. Alex Condon with 10 points. Second Gator in double digits tonight. Will Richard, leading scorer, with 14. 10-point Houston lead. Uzan gets a screen by Sharp. Working on Clayton. Crosses over. Drives. Stripped by Clayton. What a play. He's leading the transition opportunity for Florida. Spinning inside. Fouled by L.J. Cryer. And Clayton will have a chance to finally get off the schneid with a free throw here. So out of that timeout, Clayton maybe settled down a little bit here, Justin?
It's possible. Get a free throw here. Cut it to 8.
They made a good feed inside, got a steal on the other end, and then is going to the free throw line for 2. So maybe Walter Clayton Jr., the AP All-American, is finally starting to wake up for Florida. Another timeout here because the first one was the timeout from Houston. This one's the under 16 timeout. 42-32, Houston lead. Super chat menu today for the 2,300 people watching. We're live here for free, which is why you subscribe and hit that thumbs up icon. But we appreciate donations, helps us grow, helps us show our bosses that we should do more events like this. We're doing a battle today between the Houston fans and the Florida fans. $5 or more, pick your side and get your respective program / fan base into the lead. A $50 super chat. I'll do a beer bum. But right now, Justin, you were rocking with the Gators. I was rocking with Houston. I'm getting proven right in both regards. Leading by 10, but also leading by 25 in the super chat battle. Will that continue late in this game? We'll have to see.
Hey, we're going to the line, cutting it to 8, and all I'm asking is one stop at a time. We're going to crawl our way back into this game. Isn't that what Gators do? They crawl up on the sand and the beach and do all their little things. So we're going methodical, little by little.
Nah, my Cougs. My Cougs. My Cougs. This is what they do, I guess, the Coug. It's not as well known as the Chomp, I suppose, but not as well renowned as the Chomp. But Walter Clayton Jr. will be at the free throw line for 2 when we come back.
Hey, what's the adage? A shooter has to see one go through the net. Who's to say this doesn't spark it?
You know, if you're a Houston fan, that would be a concern. You see one go through the hoop, and you're like, oh boy, here he goes. But the Houston game plan defending Clayton today has been obvious, and they've executed to a T. Every ball screen, it's just we're sending 2 at you. If you want to get it to the short roller, go ahead. We'll take our chances, but we're not letting you come around the screen into a step-in 3, and we're not giving you any airspace. So, yeah. I think Kelvin Sampson, this Cougar defense, has had an excellent game plan today, and they've executed it defensively on Clayton pretty well.
With the way Houston plays defense, would you say this needs to be under 10 comfortably by the 8-minute mark? Cannot be down double digits.
Well, I'll tell you, Florida just has so much offensive firepower. They could go on a crazy little run as well anytime. So we'll see. I'm not going to start saying they need to get it to a point in terms of scoring until once we get to the 8-minute mark, we'll reevaluate. Clayton finally on the scoreboard. Knocks down the first free throw to the timeout. So the lead for Houston down to 9. They led by 3 at halftime. They jumped out to a 12-point lead here early in the second half. Clayton makes both free throws. It's an 8-point Houston lead. Uzan brings it up for Houston. He gets it over to Cryer. They work it back to Uzan, who drops it inside the Roberts. Roberts faces up on Condon. Roberts backs down, spinning, bumped, but banked it home with the left hand. Tough bucket there by Juwan Roberts. Clayton quickly the other way, can't make the jumper. Had a good look in the mid-range, wasn't able to get it. Ball loose, Sharp diving out of bounds and saves it. What a hustle play by Emmanuel Sharp. Houston, that's what they do, man. That's what they do. Uzan's got it on the right wing. Bodies hit the deck, and they're going to whistle Walter Clayton for a foul-off ball. Emmanuel Sharp going to the free throw line because Houston is in the bonus with 14 minutes to go. That is going to be tough for Florida to overcome that unless they play squeaky clean basketball. And Clayton's actually going to head to the bench here. Excuse me. 1-1 for Houston. That's the 7th foul on Florida in this half. Sharp, an 87% free throw shooter, buries the first. Back to an 11-point lead. Houston, the number 1 3-point shooting team in the country, shooting 39.1% as a team. Also one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country, as you would expect if they're good 3-point shooters. Well, Sharp misses the second, so the lead will stick at 11. Aberdeen off the bench into the game for the Gators. He was the one who replaced Clayton. Elijah Martin needs to get going if you're a Gator fan as well. He kicks it over to Aberdeen. Now to Huff, his 3-point attempt. No good. Rebound. There's going to be a foul called on Jawan Roberts as he was called grabbing the arm of Alex Condon. After having 4 total fouls called in the first half, through the first 6 minutes of the second half, there's been 11 foul calls. Second foul on Jawan Roberts. And I think they're going to review this for a potential hook and hold, which would be a flagrant. That would be very fortuitous for Florida because they would get 2 free throws and keep the ball. That is not by rule a hook and hold, I believe. So a hook and hold is when you actually hook their arm with your elbow and pull. Roberts just was like almost grabbing his arm.
This did not seem very malicious to me.
And that's what Gene Steratore just said. He says, is he holding Condon's arm? Yes. Is he hooking his arm and with malicious intent or anything like that? No. So Steratore believes it's a common foul. I would agree as well. So I think it will just be side out for Florida after the review. 13:47 to go in this one. Houston leading by 11. They've controlled the second half after leading by 3 at the break. And an interesting storyline to monitor is the fact that Houston is in the bonus with 13:47 to go in the game. I think the officials just said it's confirmed common fouls, so it's going to be side out for the Gators. Go Birds says refs have been horrible. They've been bad the whole tournament. Well, they're always bad. I don't know what time they've been good. So side out for, or be on the baseline, for the Gators. Aberdeen to inbound. Gets it to Huff. Huff. Another foul on France. I don't think that was a foul. Francis called for the foul. On the side. I guess. So now Houston with 5 fouls. So both teams will be shooting free throws probably the rest of the way. Or at least a lot. Oh my goodness. Francis was whistled again with a foul.
Oh, you know what? I'm with you. A call was put in.
I said at the half I was shocked at the amount of fouls in the first half, only having 4. There has been 13 fouls in the first 6.5 minutes called of this half. Someone made the call to slow the game down. I'm telling you.
I mean.
But now both teams are in the bonus. Huck inside, kicks it out to Aberdeen. Aberdeen drives on Uzan. Gets to his right hand and lays it up and in. So big bucket off the bench for Aberdeen. Makes it a 9-point game. Cryer gets it over to Uzan on the left wing. They get it to Cryer at the top of the key. Cryer, Tugler back in for Houston. He swings it to Uzan. Good look here for Uzan for 3. No good. Jawan Roberts, offensive rebound. Second chance opportunity for the Cougs. Roberts gets inside. Fakes the up and under. Right hook. No. Condon grabs the board. Good defense and rebound there by the sophomore from Australia. Aberdeen out in transition. Gets cut off, and they'll reset. Tyleik Wilson to the game for Houston. Elijah Martin left open for 3, and he hits it. That's a big 3 for the Gators. And just like that, Florida back only down by 6. doing some good work here with Walter Clayton on the bench. Cryer crossing over, getting inside, dropping it off to Tugler. Tugler gets it back out to Cryer with 10 on the shot clock. They'll reset. Cryer doubled. Gets it back. Step back three. Blocked. Rebound, Florida. They have it in transition. Foul. And one! Huck! And just like that, the Gators, with a free throw, can make it a one-score game. You knew Florida was going to have a run in them. What a tough finish in transition by Huck. And now what? We're having a stoppage. What's happening? I guess someone called a timeout. I think I'm going to have to guess it was Florida because Houston would not have called their third timeout. So you're telling me Houston's calling timeout. They have one left in the game.
According to the ESPN play-by-play.
Listen, I get it. Florida's on a run here, but that feels like an aggressive timeout by Sampson. I almost wonder if Kelvin Sampson didn't know that he only had 2 timeouts left because he might have forgot they called the timeout when he was almost falling out of bounds. Interesting. 2,600 people watching. Who you got? I'm giving shout-outs during the timeout. Who you got? F for Florida, H for Houston. It's getting tight. Get your voice heard in the comment section. I'm going to give some shout-outs here in just a second. Trey in the chat. Amelia saying Houston. Cold saying Houston. Wraith saying Florida. Phillip Houston. Trey Florida. Flack Florida. Brandon saying Cougars. Ty Man going with Florida. Leonard with Houston. Jakias Houston. Markeith says Florida. Greg says Florida. Chase says Houston. George says Houston. MLB says Houston. A lot more Houstons than Florida's now. Justin, that's a switch from what we had earlier in the night.
Florida's back in the game, though.
Florida's back in the game, but they still trail on the scoreboard and in our battle between the two. Houston defeating Florida right now 50-25 in the Super Chat battle between the Cougar faithful and the Gator faithful. Will that continue is the question. Will that continue? This is our Super Chat menu if you're just joining us here with 12 minutes to go in this second half. Every 100 subscribers, we take a shot of tequila. Super Chat to pick your side between Florida, Houston. We just showcase you what the score is in our Super Chat battle. And if someone sent in a $50 Super Chat, I would do a beer bong. But hit that sub button as well, as we've got 2,700 people watching. Remember, every 100 subscribers, we're 22 away from our next shot. So Houston leading 45-41. Huck at the line to make it a one-score game. This would make it a 7-0 run for Florida. And it is converted, 45-42. Here we go, folks. That was a timeout by Houston. They have one left in the game. That's going to be a disadvantage for Houston going forward. Cryer gets it over to Sharp. Sharp's been quiet today. He can't make that three-point attempt. So he continues his rough three-point game. Clayton back in, gets it over to Hoglatin. Gets it back. Clayton up and under. Out to Aberdeen. No good. Could have tied the game up at 45. Here comes Wilson in transition. The corner. Cryer. Good look. Can't let him see that open of a shot. Cryer puts Houston back up by 6. The veteran, the upperclassman with 15, 4 tray balls in the game. Big time 3 by Cryer. Aberdeen driving inside on Wilson. Pump fakes, drops it off to Hoglatin. Oh my God, he airballed and they're going to call foul on Houston. That's going to be on Wilson. And we'll have our under 12 timeout with 11:07 to go. So a little choppy game action here. Or are we not going to timeout? Interesting. So did they say that the timeout at 12:08 was going to be good enough to suffice the under 12? I guess so. Happy about that. Shout out to John Luna with the $10 super chat as Hoglatin misses the first free throw. Sir, you are good at what you're doing. Thanks for having this live stream. Much appreciated. Well, John, we really appreciate the kind comment and $10 donation to the channel, my friend. John, are you rocking with Houston or Florida today? Let me know in the live chat, and we'll add that to the total for Houston, Florida. Justin will keep an eye on that. Hoglatin missed both free throws, and the rebound is grabbed by Cryer. Missed opportunity there by Florida to get within 4. Couple players in foul trouble for Houston. Francis and Tugler both with 3. Uzan working inside. Floater doesn't go. Rebound Florida. Here comes Clayton. Up ahead to Martin. Martin steps back. 3-point attempt. No. Offensive rebound put back by Hoglatin doesn't go. And the second rebound is handled by Wilson. Cryer feeling it. Crossover. Sidestep right wing 3. Can't fall for the senior. The graduate, that is. And now Florida comes the other way. Clayton looking for his first 3-pointer. No. Rebound. What a board in traffic by Joseph Tugler, showcasing that 7'6" wingspan. Luna's rocking with Houston, so add $10 to the Houston Cougars total. Clayton 0 of 6 from the field, 0 of 5 from 3. Choking. You see the updated number on your screen in this super chat battle between Houston and Florida. 5 on the shot clock. Houston has to make something happen here. Tugler, 2. Does he know? He gets it off right at the buzzer and airballed a running left hook shot, and that goes out of bounds. So Florida gets ball back, leading or trailing by 6. I actually agree. Under 10 to go in the national championship. 1 seed Houston, 1 seed Florida. Cougars leading by 6, looking for their first championship in program history. Elijah Martin's been quiet, and he turns it over. What defense by the Cougars. They play defense as a team, they rebound as a team, and they got the stop. 13th turnover of the game on Florida compared to Houston's 4. Big difference in this one. Big difference is also each team's star player. Cryer with 15, Clayton with 2. Wilson drives, fades away in the mid-range. Unbalanced shot doesn't go, but rebound tipped out. Houston has a second chance. Cryer, floater, no. Rebound, it's going to be an over-the-back call on Joseph Tugler. And I got bad news for Tugler and the Cougs. That's his 4th foul. Starting 4 for Houston will sub out in this one. I would assume Javier Francis will come back in. Over 3,000 people watching. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Hit that thumbs up icon if you haven't already. Let's get to 1,000 likes, folks. Let's get to 1,000 likes. 9:07 to go. Cryer will take a breather. That foul, by the way, puts Florida into the bonus, so it's a 1-1 for Aberdeen. First free throw good, 48-43. Nine fouls called on Houston in this half. Florida was 7, so both teams in the bonus, 1-1. Well, now Florida is in the double bonus the rest of the way. Aberdeen knocks down both. It's a 4-point game. Cryer out for the Cougs. This is a chance for Houston to make a little bit, Florida to make a little bit of a run. Under 9 to play. Uzan, pick and roll, over to Wilson. Emmanuel Sharp's got to get going if you're Houston. He's been silent. Instead, it's Wilson driving, step back, 15-footer on the baseline. No, good defense by the Gators. They get the board. They're out in transition. Clayton gets picked up, finds a trailing Martin inside the Chinaloo, who puts up a right hook shot. It doesn't go, but they're going to call a foul, and it's going to be on Francis. That's his 4th. So either the Cougars are going to have to play with one of their top big men in 4 fouls, either Francis or Tugler, and it will be that, or it will be small ball with Roberts at the 5. Houston, I'll tell you what, as a supporter of the Cougs in this one, I feel a little uneasy. But a missed free throw by Chinaloo, so it's going to be another missed free throw. Francis takes a seat, and it will be Arcano into the game. So they run a little bit of a smaller lineup here. Chinaloo makes the second. It's back to a one-possession game, 48-45. Houston's 5 of 20 from the field this half. My goodness. Wilson leading the Houston half-court offense. Gets it over to Sharp. They'll work through Juwan Roberts here. He drives on Chinaloo. A lot of contact. Ball loose out of bounds. It will stay with Houston. There's 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Without LJ Cryer in the ball game, there just isn't a player where Houston or Florida fears, I think, offensively. They got good offensive players, Houston, but they don't have any person they fear like Cryer. They get it into Roberts. Can't make the shot. Rebound, Houston or Florida. And here comes Clayton. Clayton at the logo, defended by Arcano, drives, lets to the left hand, and one! Walter Clayton! Is he finally going to wake up for Florida? He has a chance to tie the game up at 48 with under 8 to play when we return from this timeout. Houston, going ice cold offensively over the last 5 minutes, has let Florida back into the game. And here we go. Under 8 to play. We'll take our under 8 timeout, which will give us time to tell you about our sponsor one last time on today's show, and it's our ticketing partner, Game Time. I use Game Time for every ticket I get, whether I want to go see a sporting event. MLB is in full swing. NBA, NHL, there's concerts, comedy, theater events. I love using Game Time. They have so many great features. Last minute deal, all-in prices. You get views from your seat, lowest price guaranteed. Game Time just takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. It just makes it so easy. My favorite feature is all-in pricing. It is this, because there's nothing worse to me than thinking you're buying a ticket for, say, $70. You go to checkout, and next thing you know, it's $100 because of fees. No, when you click all-in pricing, they'll show you the total price of your ticket up front so you know what you're spending over at Game Time. They also show you views from your seat. They got a full panoramic view from your seat in the app for you buy so you know where you're sitting. No poles, no stanchions, no billboards will be in your way. It's why Game Time makes it so easy to buy your tickets. So get started today. Download Game Time, create an account, use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, appreciate Game Time. And we crossed over 300 subscribers on today's live show, which means I owe a shot because I take a shot every time we get 100 subscribers today. Can we get to 406,000 today? We're 655 away. I think it's doable. I'm willing to bet there's 655 people watching out of the 3,200 that aren't subscribed. I'm Nic Rohloff. We go live for every big event here at Chat Sports. March Madness, the NBA Finals, NBA Draft, NFL Draft, NBA Free Agency, NFL Free Agency. We do it all. Put out daily content as well. Subscribe to the channel today. Who else here is live for you doing play-by-play commentary and analysis of this national championship game? Under 8 to go. Clayton will step to the charity stripe for one to tie this game up potentially once we resume. They're singing Don't Stop Believin' in San Antonio right now. Do you hear this, Justin?
I'll keep my commentary to myself about that song.
Okay. I think I might be missing something here. You just don't think it's a good song? Well, that was the first field goal Walter Clayton made all night tonight. And he ties the game up at 48. Here we go. Houston is led for 26 minutes and 11 seconds in this game. Florida is led for 17 seconds. Unbelievable. We're tied here. LJ Cryer back in. He gets it to Milos Uzan. He has it top of the key. He drives on Aberdeen, gets a step, hangs, floater, no. Rebound offensively, Roberts throws it out to Cryer. It's tipped out of bounds by Clayton, and will stay with Houston. You know who has impressed me off the bench here is Aberdeen. He's played well off the bench to me today. Not going to stuff the stat sheet, but doing the little things for Florida, keeping them in it. Uzan driving, cut off, gets it to Roberts at the elbow. 4 on the shot clock, drives, gets to his left hand. It's blocked, but they're going to call Chinalou for a foul. Oh, that's a technical. You just can't do that in that moment, dude. What a catastrophe from Ruben Chinalou. Called for the foul with under a second on the shot clock, defending Roberts. Probably has a right to be upset, but then two-handed spiked the ball, and anytime that ball gets spiked above your head and you scream at the ref, that's a technical without a question. So now the Cougars are going to get 4 free throws. What a mistake. I mean, I'm not going to lie. If Houston ends up holding on to win this game, you might have to look at that moment right there. Florida. But you come back, tie this game up after being down 12, and then you get a T after you tie it? Cryer makes the first technical free throw. He'll get one more as Houston jumps back out in front. Cryer gets the friendly roll and goes up 2. Now you'll see Jawan Roberts go to the line for 2 more to try to give Houston a 2-possession lead. Good veteran leadership by Elijah Martin to go up to Chinalou, say don't do that, but not scold him. Just like, I'm not better than me. I like to consider myself a leader, but in this game, in this moment, I would crash out if my teammate did that.
You would have gotten a tech too?
Well, I wouldn't have got a technical for screaming at my own teammate. Roberts, a 60% free throw shooter, missed the first there. He has one more. Chance to put Houston back up by 3. Roberts makes the second, so it is a 3-point Cougar lead. Continue to hit that sub button, folks. We're on the road to 406,000. We got 3,500 people tuning in. Appreciate everyone. Clayton, backdoor cut inside, fouled, and one again. I tell you what, these officials, I don't know if they swapped them out at halftime. I have not been a fan of the second half calls. There's been obviously some fouls. There's been some weak ones as well.
Yeah, a little too loosey-goosey with the whistle.
To me, and in the national championship game, I don't think that's a foul. Am I wrong in that?
I don't think so.
Light contact. There's contact on every shot.
Especially with how physical the game was in the first half.
Exactly. Well, Clayton now has back-to-back and ones. He has the last 6 points for the Gators. He's got 8 points in the half and the game, and we're tied up at 51 with under 7 to go. Cryer in the corner. Gets a screen from Roberts. Gets the switch with Condon. May I have this dance? Cryer drives, stops, fades away, comes up short. Rebound, Clayton. He'll push. Gators have a chance to take the lead. Martin to the rim. Up and under. No good. Good rebound by Roberts, and now Houston comes the other way in transition. Sharp finds Wilson. Wilson inside. Right hook. Good! And the Cougars take advantage in transition to go back up in front. Myleik Wilson, 9 points off the bench for the Cougars. Aberdeen drives inside, hangs, finishes! And we're back even once again. And now we have a seesaw affair over the last 4 or 5 minutes. If Houston's going to win this game, Justin, they need Emmanuel Sharp to get going. He's been non-existent. Screen by Roberts. Sharp, pull-up 3, on cue. Buries! Uncontested triple! And the Cougars go back in front by 3. Sharp, 2 of 10 from the field. He's 1 of 7 from 3. Huck inside, drops it off to Condon, up and under layup, good. And Florida's going to call a timeout to talk things over. 5.5 minutes to go. Houston leading by 1. The drama. Last college basketball game of the year. Houston looking to become national champions in men's basketball for the first time in program history. Leading by 1 with 5.5 to go. Drama in San Antonio. Who you got? F for Florida, H for Houston. I'm going to update the live poll. Who you got? Ayana says Houston, Mystery Houston, Charlotte Houston. There's a lot more Houston Cougar supporters than there was at the beginning of the stream, Justin. I'll say that. I will say that.
Hey, maybe you're just late to the party.
Maybe.
Different time zone.
Largest comeback in national championship history. 16 points when Kansas came back to defeat North Carolina in 2022. The previous 2 largest were 15 points and 12 points in 63 and 98. I only mention that because Florida trailed by 12 in this game. So it would be tied for the 3rd largest comeback in national championship history. Houston still got a 1-point lead and ball. 5 and change to go. Sharp just made a 3 a second ago. Has it, the top of the key. Sharp to the rim. Euro stepping his way to the basket. That's 5 straight for Sharp. Said he needed to get going for Houston, and he must have heard me. 8 points in the ball game, and Houston back in front with 5 to go. Walter Clayton has gotten a little bit going here. They are denying him the ball. Aberdeen has it. Gets it over to Huck. Huck hands it off to Richard. Richard hits the deck. How is that a foul? I'm disgusted by the officiating in the second half. I really am. That is the softest foul I've ever seen. Disgusted. Nope, he just slept and they called a foul. Free throws for Richard, and he makes the first. Just disgusted. The officials have unfortunately taken a hold on this game. And it's gross. It really is. Let the kids play. They just fell. Unbelievable. Richard makes both free throws. 1 point game yet again. (58-57). Cryer now with 3 fouls. Under 5 to play. Sharp has the last 5 points for Houston. Gets it to Francis. He's playing with 4. Hands it off to Uzan. Uzan gets a screen. Aberdeen defending. Uzan's been quiet tonight. Swings it to Roberts. Roberts gets downhill to the rim. Layup, no. Francis with a putback slam. Boy, can he elevate. Clayton, top of the key to Condon. Condon at the free throw line. Kicks it back out to Aberdeen. 4 to play. Chinaloo at the top of the key. Back in after the technical to Richard. Richard guarded by Cryer. 8 on the shot clock to Condon. Condon driving on Francis. Gets to his right hand. Gets back to his left hand. Can't finish. Rebound tapped out and gathered by Houston. Uzan under 4 to play. Houston looking to take a 2-score lead with a basket on this possession. Sharp has it, top of the key. Houston scored on their last 4 possessions after missing 9 of 11 shots prior to that. Sharp gets it to Roberts, 10 on the shot clock. They're draining it here. Sharp back to Roberts. Roberts to the corner. Cryer, baseline drive. He stepped on the sideline as he caught it. It's a turnover on the Cougars. We'll head to the under 4 timeout. 60-57. 3:24 to go to decide a national champion here in San Antonio. $20 super chat with John Luna. I went to high school with Elvin Franklin. He was the guy who missed the free throw against the NC State. All right, John. Appreciate you coming in with a $20 super chat. He was rocking with Houston earlier. So add another 20 to Houston, and it's a runaway. The Cougars are now up, 80-25 in the super chat battle, Justin?
Yeah, it's not looking good.
The Gators are going to need a big-time super chat to win our chat sports battle of who is the better fan base. They're also going to need a strong 3.5 minutes to overcome this Houston defense to become national champions. Let's check in on the live sub counter here, Justin. Where are we at? Because we got 4,200 people watching, and I want to make sure the people tuning in are subscribed. I'm Nic Rohloff. Here at Chat Sports, we go live for the big events in the sports world. College basketball national championship game. NFL free agency, NFL draft, NBA free agency, videos every day in the sports world. We are your one-stop shop on YouTube for everything you need. Hit that sub button, folks. Let's get closer and closer to 406,000. And I also said every time we get 100 subscribers, I'm taking a shot. We started at 405,031, so we picked up nearly 400 subscribers. Next one will be 400. Who is going to be the 400 subscriber of today's stream? I don't know, but we just got there, so there's another shot. Continue to hit that sub button, folks.
John, I know your heart is very heavy considering how that NC State-Houston final ended. Because I do not want to have a one-score game if I'm a Houston fan, if I'm an older Houston fan, considering the history in their national title games.
Under 4 minutes to go. Houston leading by 3. It will be Gator ball out of the timeout. When you look at the timeout disparity here, remember, there's no more stoppage in the game from the NCAA in terms of commercials. But 2 timeouts remain for Florida. Houston has 1 timeout left. Can Houston hang on and get the win and their first national championship in school history? The Gators have outscored Houston 27-18 in the last 12 minutes. Remember, Houston led as much as 12 in the second half. Walter Clayton had a scoreless first half, has 8 second half points, but has yet to find a shot from beyond the arc. Possession arrow favors Florida. It's Florida ball, and both teams are in the double bonus the rest of the way. You know Walter Clayton Jr. is going to look for his shot here late, Justin. We'll see what Todd Golden scripted out of the timeout. Clayton brings it up, gets it over to Huck. They get it to Clayton off a curl. He's open, and we're tied! Do I have a sixth sense or what? I called Emmanuel Sharp, and I called Clayton. We're tied at 60 with 3 minutes to go in a national championship game, folks. Clayton now with 11 on the ball game. He's 1 of 6 from 3. Does Houston have an answer? They're trying to get it to Roberts. They can't. They reset it over to Cryer. 13 on the shot clock. Cryer gets a screen from Francis. Francis has been big off the bench. Back to Cryer. Does Cryer have an answer? 4 on the shot clock. Driving on Huck. Gets inside. Running layup. No. But he tipped it back up and in himself. The little guy among the big fellas. 2.5 to go. Houston back up by 2. Cryer with 19. Huck driving inside, spinning, kicking out to Elijah Martin for the lead. No. Rebound. Martin fouled. Reach-in foul on Milus Uzan. So Will Richard, who was able to get the offensive rebound, will be at the charity stripe for 2 to try to tie this game up. Good play out of the timeout a second ago. Double screen to get Clayton an open look. But how about Cryer able to tip that in amongst the crowd? Smallest guy there, doesn't matter. Will Richard with 16 points in the game, had 14 in the first half, hits the first free throw. He's an 83% free throw shooter. He'll have another one here to even this one up with 2:18 to go. Tugler back in for Houston. He's playing with 4 fouls. Francis out for the tie. Yes. And it's 62 all with 2:18 to go. Who you got? Get in the chat, but also make sure you're subscribed. Tugler at the top of the key. Hands off to Cryer. Cryer, 19 points. And a foul is called on Will Richard off ball. And it's 2 free throws coming for the Cougars. I believe Tugler was the one who was fouled. And I believe he is an absolutely atrocious free throw shooter. No, it's going to be Roberts going to the line? No, see, I was right. My eyes told me it was Tugler. He's going to the line. With 2:05 to go. 54% free throw shooter. Calmly knocks down the first. And I tell you what, Justin, his free throw form looks pretty damn good. So I'm a little surprised that he's a 54% free throw shooter.
Feel like a lot of these tournament bad free throw shooters have some decent form.
Yeah. Tugler to put Houston back up by 2. Well, he's a 54% shooter for a reason, folks. 2 minutes to go. Houston leads by 1. Clayton sensing the moment. A 3. No! Rebound, Jawan Roberts. And Houston has a chance to get a big bucket with under 2 to play. That was a good look by Clayton. He had separation on the left wing. Tugler has it, top of the key. They're trying to get it to Cryer. Now they can't. There's a crowd. They get it to Uzan. 10 on the shot clock. Houston has to get something moving here. Uzan, pull up 3. It's blocked. The ball will go out of bounds with 4.3 seconds on the shot clock. Ball remains with Houston. So there will be a baseline out of bounds play here for the Cougs. It has been a specialty of Sampson to get good looks on the baseline. Remember what they did in the Sweet 16 to defeat Purdue. Uzan gets it into Cryer. Cryer, floater on the baseline. No. Offensive rebound, Tugler. Inside. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be whistled as Florida basketball. I will think they review this one. Minute 21 to go. Tugler had initially. Ball clearly off of Houston. It's going to be Florida basketball. Quick review. It's clearly off Tugler. Who you got? F for Florida, H for Houston. 5,500 people watching. Get down in the chat and let us know who you got. Also, if you can't comment, it's because we're in subscriber-only mode. You have to be subscribed to comment. Subscribe. We put out daily content on the NBA, NFL, college football, live for big events like this one. Hit that sub button. Let's get to 406,000 subscribers. If we get to 406 tonight, I'm doing a beer bong. I know there's 500 people watching that aren't subscribed out of the 5,500. Hit that sub button. I got my Happy Dad. I got my Merbanga. I'm ready to take down a beer bong if we get there. Ball will go to Florida as expected. Minute 20 to go. The Gators, can they take the lead late here in the second half? Another shot will be coming up here in just a second. Continue to hit that sub button. I'll take it quickly before play resumes. Clayton brings it up. What a game we have in San Antonio. Clayton driving, kicking it to Condon. Condon inside, in a crowd, goes up, right hook, no. Ball tipped around, grabbed by Huck, but he loses it. A big defensive play by Houston inside, forces the turnover. 1 minute to play for a national championship. Houston has ball up 1. A bucket would go a long way. Cryer driving, baseline, goes up, loses it. Condon has it. A big play for Florida defensively. Florida in transition. Martin inside, fouled by Tugler. And the Gators are going to the line with 40 seconds remaining to potentially take the lead. Oh my. Houston's offense has gone non-existent in the last 4 and 5 minutes, Justin.
Oh, man, they're just trying to hold on for dear life.
Yeah, Houston, that's the good way to put it, Justin. Houston is holding on for dear life. They are not playing to win. They are playing not to lose. Joseph Tugler is fouled out of this game. Martin, a 75% free throw shooter, can give Florida the lead. Comley hits nothing but net on the first. We're tied at 63. My goodness. 6,100 people watching. Hit that sub button. Florida has led 17 seconds of this game, and they now lead with 46 seconds remaining. It's the first lead since it was 8-6 for the Gators in the first 4 minutes of this game. I think we're going to have a timeout. Who called it, Justin? Was it Florida or Houston? Florida will call it. It's their second to last timeout. So each team, Houston and Florida, has 1 timeout remaining with 46 seconds to go. $20 super chat from John Luna. This is for the shout out and your passion commenting on the game. Love it. H for the win. Appreciate you. But let's get that sub button up, folks. 405, 613. We're under 400 subscribers away from 406,000. Hit that sub button. Come on. Appreciate you, John Luna. What a game we have here to decide our national championship. Subscribe today for more. Houston fans absolutely feel disgusted with how they've blown this lead late. Florida fans elated that they have a lead with 46 seconds to go. Does Houston have an answer to recapture the lead? Let's find out together, folks. Let's find out together. Cryer, the leading scorer for Houston. You assume you try to get him the ball, but Emmanuel Sharp had 5 points late. Jawan Roberts always an option as well. Uzan brings it up for Houston. 40 seconds to go. Roberts, top of the key. Cryer now on the right wing. They try to get it to Uzan. They do at the top of the key. Now to Sharp. Sharp gets a screen from Roberts. Sharp doubled. Drives inside. He loses it. It's a turnover. And Florida has it with under 30 seconds to go. What a choke job by the Houston Cougars. Clearly stripped. Good reach in there by Will Richard. It goes off the knee of Sharp. And the Florida defense has just put a stranglehold on this Houston offense. They have not been able to get anything going in the second half. Now, ironically enough, Houston has scored more in the second half than the first half, but over the last 8 minutes, Justin, it's been ugly.
Again, trying to hold on for dear life, but that might be ball game. Actually, no. I apologize. I apologize to Houston. Let's not forget, obviously last game, we saw what happened. But let's not forget what happened in Lawrence in January.
I don't remember what happened.
Houston was down, I believe, 7 or 8 with like 20-some-odd seconds to go.
And they came back and won?
Tied it to send it into overtime and won a double OT.
Wow. We'll see if we have this. Well, the good news for Houston is that we know they know what to do in this situation as what they did on Saturday against the
Same exact situation happened in Lawrence.
And I'll say this as well, is that double bonus, so Florida's getting 2 free throws, but there's no guarantee that Florida's even going to get free throws. How good is Houston pressing, trapping, and with 26 seconds to go, there is no need for them to foul right away. They can try to force a turnover, ball gets across the timeline, and then you foul. And then even if they make both free throws, you still will have a chance to potentially tie the game with a 3. It is going to be Florida basketball. It went off of Emmanuel Sharp's knee. Kelvin Sampson directing traffic from the sidelines here. 64-63, Florida leading. Will they handle the final press put on by Houston better than the Blue Devils? A more experienced basketball team in the Gators. Clayton to inbound. Gets it into Huck. Huck trapped. Back to Clayton. Clayton gets it up to Aberdeen, but he throws it loose. Ball's loose. Aberdeen tracks it. And then, oh my God, I could not disagree with this call more. They call a foul on Houston. Aberdeen, though, stepped on the out-of-bounds line. I don't think this is a foul. All right, I guess he got bumped. But to me, most of his momentum, Justin, was pushing him out of bounds. Thought Houston caught a tough break there. Aberdeen, a 70% free throw shooter at the line for 2. Misses the first. So at best for the Gators, it will be a 2-point lead with under 20 seconds to go. If he misses the second, Houston better box out, unlike what Auburn did on Saturday in their comeback attempt against the Gators. 8,000 people watching. Hit that sub button. Aberdeen's second is good, and it's a 2-point Florida lead. Condon will check in. Will Houston call a timeout? They will. Kelvin Sampson, with 19.7 seconds left, calls a timeout to come up with a play, 65-63. Let's ask the 8,000 people in the chat, who you got? F for Florida, H for Houston. Who you got?
All right.
And who are you going to here? It's got to be Cryer.
Well, let me ask you this. Obviously, we're holding for the last shot.
I disagree. No, you go. And
so why use the timeout?
To the talk strategy, if a make, if a miss, direct the play. The reason why I have always been in the mindset of go for the first good shot you have instead of waiting is because if you miss, you want to give yourself a chance to get the offensive rebound, kick out 3, or offensive rebound, put back to tie it. And or if you do miss and Florida gets the rebound, you can foul in hopes of them missing a free throw to get ball back down by 3. I know it's only 19 seconds, but if I'm Houston, I'm trying to get the first good shot that I have. And if you make it to tie the game or take the lead and you do it too early with 10 seconds left, to me, I would just be happy that the game is tied or I have the lead. So to me, I go as soon as you have the first shot. We'll see. We'll see. Here we go. Shout out to the 8,200 people watching. If you haven't already, folks, hit that sub button as we're on the road to 605,000. or 405,000 subscribers. 19.7 seconds remain. Gets it into Uzan. Cryer will bring it up now. Gets across half court, 15 seconds. They're taking their time, so they might hold for one. Uzan, right wing, doubled. They get it back to Cryer, 7 seconds. They get it to Sharp. He's got to look. No, he traveled. It's going to be a turnover, and Florida's national champions. It's ball game. Gainesville champions once again. Third championship in school history. The first time since they went back in 06-07. A beautiful defensive possession by the Gators. Houston doesn't even get up a shot. And it's a 65-63 win. What a defensive play by Florida. And I just thought Houston panicked there. I think they panicked. Wow. Congratulations to the Florida Gators for becoming champions. Todd Golden's crew completes the third largest comeback in title game history. 16 and 15 were the previous two. Clayton, not having his A stuff offensively, made the defensive play of the game, racing up. Sharp had a look. He came up. He was open. He catches it. He turns. He woes the fire. And Clayton closes out so perfectly that when Sharp jumped up to shoot it, he didn't have a shot. And the ball on the deck, couldn't touch it because it could have been a travel. And then it was a turnover. Florida had it, and it was over. Wow. 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 I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but it was tied at 48, basically, the final 8 minutes, Justin. But the way Houston handled their offense down the stretch, that's a choke. That's a collapse.
I mean, we talked about the timeout. Having to spend your final, well, not your final timeout, but your second to last timeout so late or so early in the second half. I felt like Sampson was coaching to not lose this game.
I agree. That is the most well-said thing. It felt like down the stretch the Houston Cougars were playing not to lose and not to win. Congrats to the Florida Gators. Todd Golden getting the Florida men's basketball program back on the mountaintop, on the backs of their trio in the backcourt, Will Richard, Walter Clayton, and Elijah Martin. Clayton did not have his A stuff today. Will Richard had 14 first-half points. Really made things happen for them in the first half when they couldn't get anything going. But I would expect Walter Clayton to be named as the tournament's most outstanding player. Wow. Wow, 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 folks. Unbelievable. I can't believe it, man.
And the script went exactly how you wanted for Houston, despite the collapse.
I think if you told Houston fans this game would be played in the 60s, they probably assumed they won.
And with how close it was at the end, just how they play close games this year. How many times do we see them
do the
little things?
Now, this would have been a tough thing to do in the moment for Emmanuel Sharp, but when he jumped up and got caught in the travel, would it have been better suited for him once he put the ball back on the deck? No. And realized he can't touch it or it's a travel. He's sitting there, time's dwindling down.
Get the turnover?
Just take the dead ball turnover with 3.5 seconds left and give yourselves a chance if Florida turns it over on the inbounds or misses the free throw. Because with there, it's like it's a mad dash to the ball. Even if one of his teammates grabbed it, there's no chance of them getting off a good shot there. I mean, it's tough to do in the moment, and I don't want to act like I would have done that in the moment. But it's like one of those things where I think of an outside viewer. It's like, what if we just grabbed the ball, took the dead ball turnover, and gave themselves at least another fighting chance?
I think the only, like we said, don't like to second guess people in the moment. It happens so fast. I think the only thing that I would have done differently is you had enough time, maybe pump fake off the catch, and then it's going to be a difficult shot either way. But you just got put in such a bad position. How Clayton closed out.
I said it on the call live. When Sharp gets the ball, I was like, he's going to have a look. I thought he was open. And then Walter Clayton comes out of nowhere and just freaking running 1,000,000 miles per hour, jumps full speed as high as he could to try to contest that shot. And Sharp didn't stand a chance. He could have tried to do the Marcus Page double clutch shot like UNC did to tie it against Villanova in that very famous national championship game, which ended up in the Chris Jenkins buzzer beater. But my goodness.
I mean, could he have, this would have been really cheap. But I challenged college officials to make this call with the way he closed out. Jump into him.
The problem is that I think Sharp already jumped straight up when Clayton left his feet. So I don't think, and Clayton did a good job of like jumping at him, but also kind of from the side to where like I don't even think Sharp could have had the momentum to bump into Clayton. I mean, that was, like that's an unbelievable.
You know what? Forget analyzing what the offensive player should have did. Congrats to Clayton.
Yeah.
That's a great defensive play.
It is a great defensive play. And congratulations to the Florida Gators for winning the national champion. Brutal loss if you're the Cougars, but congrats to Florida. Congrats to Florida. Isn't that something? I want to rewatch this final possession here. I mean, the ironic thing about that play from Clayton, as I'm rewatching it, so like they're doing all that action on the right side, and Cryer has it. Sharp's on the baseline. Sharp sprints to the top of the key, and they get it to him. Clayton was ball watching. He's sitting in the restricted area, ball watching. And then he realizes as the pass is happening to Sharp, he lost sight of him. There's a legit like Sharp is I'm looking at it. Sharp is at the 3-point line, and Clayton is still basically in the middle of the paint. Finally realizes what's about to happen, and then closing line speed. And yeah, I'm watching the replay. There's no chance Sharp has.
Do you think the laziness won him the game?
Sneaky.
Because think about it. Had he not been ball watching, do you think he takes that shot? And do you think he has the timed up momentum to contest it so perfectly?
I mean, that possession was going nowhere. I tell you what, either Florida had one heck of a defensive possession there, or that was one of the worst scripted plays or executed plays. Actually, I continue to rewatch it because I'm just so fascinated by what Kelvin Sampson thought he was drawing up here. So they wanted to get Cryer actually on the move for a 3 on the right wing. So what happened is he got to Uzan. Uzan drives right. Francis went to go set him a screen, but it was supposed to be a screen for Uzan to go to the corner, kind of fake like or act like he goes in. If he has the lane, he could turn in, get to the rim for a layup. If it's not there, he spins, turns, and Francis and then Roberts go to set Cryer, who originally passed it away, moved to the left side, back on a double screen. And unfortunately...
Did they trap it?
No, Roberts just does not get a piece of Richard at all. It's a terrible runoff by Cryer. I mean, this is coach deep. Like, I could get in depth on this. Cryer, an unbelievable player. When you run off screens, what are you taught? You're supposed to be right off that shoulder so there's no room for your defender to get in between you and the screener. I'm looking at the replay. I mean, Richard just goes right between Cryer and Roberts there. There's no screen. Roberts gets no piece of him. Francis is too late getting to the double screen anyway. So when they get it back to Cryer, It's congested. There's 4 Gators around them. Then it clears up for a brief second, which is when Sharp cuts to the top of the key, and then we obviously know what happened.
When Cryer gets the ball back, how much time is on the clock?
7.4 seconds.
Do you think it was worth saying, forget the rest of the set? Because I'm assuming that's part of the set for that last shot.
I know it's hard to do in the moment, but I almost would have, after the failed play, Cryer, you're the best player in the team.
Go get us a basket.
7 seconds left. Flatten out. Let's just have Cryer make a play. You live and die with the shot, whether it's a step back 3, whether it's a pull-up floater, whatever it is. You just live with Cryer making a play on the ball. The issue, though, is, and this is what was one of my concerns for Houston coming into this game, Justin, and ultimately it kind of paid dividends at the end. Clayton is an undersized 6'2 guard. But the other 2 guards for Florida, Will Richard and Elijah Martin, are lengthy. They're long. The guards for Houston are small. Cryer, 6'2", 6'3". Sharp, 6'3". Uzan, same type of height. So, like, the ability to drive or take a pull-up 3, it's tougher because they're smaller and it's harder to get over this outstretched arms.
I think, well, this wasn't necessarily a guard, but that size, I think it was, Houston was up 1, and this was late. And, no, I remember exactly. It was right out of the timeout. Or not a timeout. It was an out-of-bounds play, I think, with 40-some-odd seconds left. Cryer makes a beautiful move. But that 6'2", the under 6'2" frame,
yeah,
he has to readjust it. If he's 6'5", he gets that shot off. Beautiful mid-range jumper. But the big man on his hip causes him to change his shot. He has to readjust. It's an off-balance floater. Florida gets the rebound and takes the lead.
Whew. Man. I'll tell you what. Is it ever going to be Houston's time to win a national championship? Because if it didn't come this year, with their team, they are able to get it done. You thought it was a team of destiny moment when they got the comeback against Duke. Like, man, if you're a Houston fan, I feel for you. I feel for you. Whew. Wow, what a game. What a game. All right. We still have 1,700 people watching. We're still trying to get to 406,000 subscribers. I would encourage you to subscribe because we go live for these big events. We're live for the games. We put out daily content for NBA, NFL, college football, college basketball on the channel. Subscribe now if you're a true sports fan looking for sports content on YouTube. With the people watching, if super chats come in, we'll stay live. If not, we'll sign off here. Let everyone enjoy the rest of their Monday night and leave it at that. Leave it at that. I wouldn't even put that on because pick your sides over. So yeah. We'll stay live for a minute or two. If super chats come in, we'll continue. If you have thoughts on the game, questions, $50, I'll do beer bongs. You know what? I'll close the night. $20 super chats the rest of the way. I'll do shots. But we'll stay live for a minute and a half, 2 minutes here, seeing if anything comes in. Wow. I mean, just not going to cut it if you're Houston here. You shot 34.8% from the field and 24% from 3. Not going to cut it. And like I mentioned throughout the broadcast, Houston as a team shot 39.1% from 3 this year as a team. It was the best in Division I. They couldn't hit anything from beyond the arc. Uzan went 0 of 4. Sharp won a 7. Like, the Gators didn't do much better. They shot 25% from 3 and 39.6% from the field. But what they were able to do is get to the line 7 more times than Houston. And they went 17 of 21, and Houston went 9 of 14. There's a difference, too. $2 super chat from Double S. Get that on screen here. WSS, appreciate you with the $2 super chat, my friend. I can't believe they didn't even get a shot off. Wow. Appreciate you, Double S. Your major help. Also, stayed all day on Saturday watching us. All day today. Helped get rid of the bots. You're a legend, my friend. Appreciate you, Double S. And you, Ty Man. The 2 mods. Really appreciate you guys. All right, we'll give it another 30 seconds here. If no other super chats come in, we'll sign off. And now no college basketball until early November. Sad. As someone who's a college basketball super fan, sad. I would say, as bad of a tournament as this was, Justin, I would argue it's the best Final Four of my lifetime.
That's considering all 3 games were what they were. It came down to the minute. I won't fight you on that.
Listen, I'm 24 years of age, so I haven't been around the block for a while. I really would start considering like 2011, 2012 is like the first time I've been really like locked in to where I could talk on Final Fours. I mean, there's been better games. Like obviously, no game will ever be better than North Carolina Villanova, the Chris Jenkins National Championship game winner. But when you factor in the 2 Final Four games and just say the overall Final Four, this is the best one I can remember.
I mean, as a title game, I would argue 08.
Yeah.
With Chambers.
You would take, I mean, yeah, that was unreal. I just think if you get a buzzer beater like that, like the Villanova, I think that has to take number 1.
That's fair. Considering it had the same amount of buildup as this year's Final Four.
Yeah.
And you had Derrick Rose. You had that Kansas team that was the team the entire year.
Petition to make the Final Four in San Antonio every year. If
it's the best venue.
If it's going to produce championships like that in this, I'm in. So look, no, that's what I'm talking about. Look, look where he's the paint, and then he gets it. And then he just, great job of jumping to the side. Wow. All right, that's going to do it for our stream. 183,000 people tuned in throughout our national championship game. Appreciate everyone who donated to the channel as well. It was a blast. Another successful Final Four stream, national championship stream, round of 64 streams, just continuing the showcase that we'll be back doing this almost every single year. It was a pleasure. Make sure you subscribe to Chat Sports. You can find me, by the way, on social media at Nic_Rohloff, talking sports every day over there as well. I cover the Dolphins and Heat here for Chat Sports, but college basketball as a whole is my favorite sport. We got everything else over there as well. Appreciate everyone. For Justin, major help. Did a great job over the last couple of weeks with our college basketball coverage as well. So appreciate you, Justin. Salute to you. For Justin Honore, Nic Rohloff. Peace out.